Okay. Is my mic working? Say in chat if my mic is working. Okay. Is my mic working? Say in chat if my mic is working. So I'm just gonna wait until more people join. Okay. Is my mic working? It works? Okay, that's good. Say in chat if my mic is working. Hold on. So I'm just gonna wait until more people join. Okay. Is my mic? For some reason the window is. Okay, say in chat if my mic is working. Around. Hold on. So I'm just gonna wait until more people join. Okay. Is my mic? For some reason the window is. Okay, say in chat if my mic is working. Around. Hold on. Okay, I think that should be fine now. So I'm just gonna wait until more people join. Okay. Is my mic? For some reason the window that's good. I'm just gonna say in chat if my mic is working. Kinda what exactly I'm gonna do here. Hold on. So in the description you can see the criteria for like what goes on what tier. Okay, I think that for example. So I'm just gonna wait until more people join. Unusable dog shit. That goes on my reason the game. That's good. I'm just gonna say in chat if my mic is working. And above what exactly I'm gonna do here. And so on. So in the description you can see the criteria. I will be taking like what goes on. So I will be taking. Okay, I think so. For example, railway. So I'm just gonna wait until complete somewhat dog shit. So I might for like a day because like I'm just gonna say in chat if my mic is working and above what exactly I'm gonna do here. But so in general, in the description you can see the criteria taking railway what goes on. So I will be MD is gonna be I think so. For example, railway. I'm just gonna wait until something is like on the lower end. So I might for like a day because like I'm just gonna say in chat if my mic is working and above what exactly I'm gonna do here. But so in general, in the description you can see the criteria taking railway goes on. So I will be MD is gonna be I think so. For example, railway. I'm just gonna wait until something is like okay. Okay, I think I fixed it. My bad, chat. This is like the first ever time I've ever done this. So, let's start with bass, Yi Song. Everybody knows he's pretty dog shit. I think, like, his support pass is pretty good. Like, if we go and we look at, his kit, then you can see he has, like, this passive over here, apply 1 damage up to 2 allies placed after. And then he has this passive for support, and if it's 1 ally, lowest SP, 10 SP. So like this can completely neutralize the SP from a WoW ego. So I think this is actually pretty good. So he goes in the bench. LCB Faust is pretty dog shit. She's not even good as like a clash bot. Like her rolls are just straight up bad. If I recall correctly, she inflicts like a little bit of paralyze, which is okay, but this is only good if you're doing like a base sinners only run. So in general, she's just really bad. I'm gonna put her in F tier. Okay. LCB, Don Quixote, kind of like a similar thing as Faust, like she doesn't really do anything. She has a good support passive. I believe it's plus 10% pierce damage, so that's pretty good. So she goes in the bench. LCB Ryoshu. I forgot exactly what she does. Hold on. Okay, so she has Okay, this isn't horrible. Like, for a base ID, this isn't even that bad. Like, she has a damage multiplier. She has gain 2 slash damage up, so you can, like, kind of solo with her. I don't know, you can do, like, a couple of things. She's really, like, not awful for a base ID. And additionally, she has, like, this, which is steal and take plus 25%, and then she has pretty much the same thing on support. So the debate here is, do I put her in, like, D tier or the bench? Because I feel like she's, like, okay for a base ID, but at the same time, she has a really good support passive. So I think I'll just put her in the bench, because you're not really going to use LCB Ryoshu anyways. Like, outside of, like, a solo or a challenge run. Base Merc. You know what? I don't really know if... Okay, so for speed range stuff, I think I might actually, like, take it into account, because basically, Merceau's speed range, let me pull it up. So if you go to... Shit, wrong thing. Okay, so if you go here, you can see that he has 2 to 3 speed range, 276 health, which is actually, like, really high. He has, I guess he has, like, Tremor, and he has pretty good sins for Tremor. So he's really not all that bad. Like, obviously his clashing rolls are really shit because he's a base ID. And his support passive is just whatever. But I think that because of the 2 to 3 speed range and because of the really high HP for manipulating support passives, I think he actually goes in D tier rather than F, even if he does, like, nothing else besides that, because at least that's, like, a niche, you know? LCB, Hung Lu, he's, like, decent clashing, decent support passive, heals SP for free. Hold up, let me see his speed range. I think he actually has a... I'm pretty sure he has a low speed range, but I could be remembering wrong. Yeah, so he has SP heal on both support passive and combat passive. He has 3 to 6. I mean, like, it's really grasping at straws here, but I mean, I guess his clashing's okay for a base ID. I don't know. I think I'll just put him in F tier. Because, like, he's okay-ish for a base ID, but he doesn't really have the same sort of niche as LCB Merceau has, like, with the speed range. LCB Heathcliff. I actually remember, like, him being good for a base ID. Like, he's genuinely better than Hong Lu and does more damage, and also has a support passive that gives actual damage. So he can go in D. Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate. Let me check his speed range, actually, because the speed range is super important with these base ID rankings. But, like, yeah, so he has 2 to 5, which isn't even, like, it isn't amazing for carrying ego, but it's okay. Like, it does the job. Yeah, so I'm just gonna leave him in D. Base Ishmael also in D for the same reason as LCB Merceau. So she has, I believe it was 5 to 8 was her speed range, I believe, and she has, like, blunt fragility on her S3, or was it S2? I forgot which one. But yeah, she has a really high speed range. Like, super good for carrying certain egos. Like, for example, if you're running Wing Beat, you have the speed range for Gluttony Fragility. I believe it inflicts up to 6. Wing Beat does. So she's good for Wing Beat. She also has... it's kind of like a niche thing, but she also has Roseate Desire with like the clashing thing for bind. This was only useful in like I think like 1 or 2 stages ever for optimizing, but it's a use regardless. I remember they actually used to use LCB Ishmael for a while. It was in RR5. It was before I discovered using the SP heal on Captain Ishmael, so this was like early 2020, early to mid 2025, and they would use her to carry Wingbeat against 400 roses in RR5, so she's pretty decent there, I guess. LCB Rodion, 25%, or was it 20% on heads hit for the ally with the highest HP. Straight to the bench. LCB Sinclair, F tier, dog shit. LCB Otis, F tier, dog shit, but she's pretty though. LCB Gregor, F tier, dog shit. 7 Yi Song, like, I don't really know if to rank him in D or F, because he's kind of like a base ID, but better. Like, he's sort of like a Rupture version of base Yi Song, but you trade the SP healing for, like, more fragile and, like, different types of other negative effects. That can be useful, I guess. Also has 5 to 8 speed range, so really good for, like, some optimized strats with, like, Fell Bullet and whatever. So he goes in D tier. Not awful, not like super, not like good or even average, but not like unusable. So he goes in F tier. Muller Yi Song. I don't even know what this guy does. Hold on. Okay, so he has discard, flick defense level down. Consume 10 tremor. Okay, this is really whatever. Like, this is just the standard early season 0/0 ID. Discard's like pretty okay. Like, even if it's not a phenomenal unit, discard can actually save it because it lets you cycle quicker to your skill 3. So it's like, you know what? I think I'll put him in D tier. Like, he's not awful. Like, he has like okay rolls once he gets the tremor. 2 bursts on S3, burst on S2. Like, he's just okay. Quad Yi Song is pretty interesting. So this is where I start to kind of think like, okay, so I can put him in D or F because he's like not good in normal gameplay whatsoever. But he has a few weird quirks that like make him sort of good in certain scenarios. Like if we go to the skill 2, you can actually see that on the crit he reuses coin 3 times, which is like pretty decent for, you know, season 3 S2 standards. Like, it's nothing amazing, nothing awful. If you look at his poise generation, it's sort of it's sort of bad. Like, you only get count neutral on S1, count neutral on S2, and count negative on count neutral on S3, and then count negative on S2 if you get the reuse. So his poise is really shit. He has this passive, and he also has this pretty good support passive for, like, bleed poise comps, particularly in, like, Mirror Dungeon and stuff. But, like, his main use is actually using the Fell Bullet ego. So, not only does he, like, activate his own, like, bleed crit conditional with this, but he also has, like, a decent speed range, and he can be used in Mirror Dungeons to carry Fell Bullet. Like, I know that this was actually an optimal farming strat for a while, so I think I'm gonna put him in, like, the top of D tier. And to, like, order them around, I guess LCB Heathcliff on the bottom. Or maybe he's better than Muller Yi Song, I don't know. Diachi Yi Song, also, like, He has discard, but sort of like Molar Yi-song, he just doesn't really do anything. So I'm just gonna keep him in D. Like, he has, like, tanking and whatever, but I don't think that's very relevant. Okay, so LCE is super interesting. So in casual play, this guy's, like, pretty dog shit. Like, this guy's, like, genuinely D or F tier if you're just, like, a normal player. However, he has this really interesting mechanic where if you own 3 Gluttony, and if he has this fairy lure buff, which you get from counter and from S3, you inflict a shit ton of rupture on whoever killed him, and you also gain 8 ego resources. So this is really good for a number of reasons. Number 1, it can start a rupture stack. Like, if you're stacking him on turn 1, that's the turn where you're not stacking any meaningful rupture anyways, because you're using, like, Heisho pack counters and stuff, so you're not really, like, using any actual skills. And you also get the ego resources, which is really good for Railway. Like, this guy has been used in various Railway tactics since he was released in RR4. So he's super good as, like, a resource bot and as a rupture stack starter. Not very good for casual play. So I'm questioning on whether to put him in, like, S or A, or just put him in C, because he's either one of those, depending on how you look at it. I think I'm gonna keep him in A, though, because, like, I'm not really a casual. Like, I have, like, how many? 2,000, 3,000 hours on this game, and this guy has been useful universally. Like, RR4, RR1 bot gack, RR6, I used him briefly. I used him in RR5. Like, this guy's just pretty much been my lifesaver for resources. Oh yeah, and when he dies, he can also trigger Dayu Ryoshu passive, which gives you an extra skill 3, which generates a pride and stacks additional rupture. So that's also really good. So yeah, I think he's just, like, solidly an A tier. Not a casual ID whatsoever, but, like, really strong if you know what you're doing. Blade Lineage Yi-song, he's, like, C tier. Like, even with the upscale, he's just whatever. He's, like, okay damage, I guess. Like, his main, okay, so if we go to his kit, you can see that he has this, Clash win, gain poise count, so he's, like, pretty much, count neutral or positive no matter what. He has, coin power +1 for every 5 poise count. But, like, the good part is this also applies to ego. So if you have an ego with a lot of coins, such as, like, I don't know, Fell Bullet, Tracheliacosm, what else? Solemn Lament, even. You can, like, turn it into a genuinely viable damage ego with this unit, because this is 3 coin power, and so if we take, for example, Solemn Lament, this goes from 6+3 to 6+6. And this is a 36 roll on a skill with 5 coins. And that's actually, like, really good if you think about it. So even if he's, like, super power crept, I think he goes in, like, the top of C just because he has that sort of niche. Okay, now we're getting to the fun one. Spice Bush. Spice Bush Yi-song, sort of like the godfather of sinking comps. I mean, I still use him to this day because he has... Everybody knows he has the skill 3 with Sinking Deluge. And honestly, like, people will complain about his skill 1 and... Oh yeah, he's half decent now because he got the upscale with BL Merceau, which is true. But, like, even with the upscale, he's just, like, whatever. Like, he's just decent. I don't know. Top C, bottom B, one of those. I think I'll go with C, though. Just because, like, in order to get value out of him, you need to run him over Index Yi-song, which is, like, complete griefing in most situations if you're playing poise raw damage units. Because, like, that's his competition. He's competing with Spice Bush as a Fell Bullet bot. He's competing with Index for, like, just being a top unit top damage unit in general. So I guess he can stay in, I don't know, top C, bottom B. That seems pretty accurate. Okay, back to Spicebush. So Spicebush is like, I think I can put him like bottom S, because I know people will complain about, oh, like Deluge, inconvenient, low rolling skill 1, low rolling skill 2, no damage, but they forget the fact that, like, no matter how much they try to slander this guy, like, he always gets used in a world record somewhere. Like, obviously, he's not really a pick for casuals outside of getting, like, the, outside of getting the damage achievement in Mirror Dungeon, but, like, if you're a good player, he's still viable. Like, I think he's worse than Solemn Lament, but I think he has enough value to keep him in S tier. W Corp, super front-loaded on Infliction. He's like, let me show you. Okay, this is like assuming you have the Dimension Shredder ego, though. With the Dimension Shredder ego, which basically gives him, like, count neutral for free as long as he's faster than the opponent, which is free. Because as you can see here, he has haste, charge, like, he has all those things. This becomes count neutral. This becomes count positive. And actually with Dimension Shredder, this conditional that says at 10 charge count gain coin power +1, and at 10 charge count inflict 3 rupture and 2 rupture count, this is actually completely free if you have Dimension Shredder, because if you look, it says if this unit took no damage last turn, gain 4 charge count, and 4 minus the 1 at the turn end decay, because charge decays by 1 at the end of the turn. This conditional is actually super free, so you just get 10 charge count for free just by using the skill. So he becomes count positive on this with really good rupture potency. He becomes super count positive on skill 3, and also Dimension Shredder allows him to ramp up to it quicker because it does require charge count. And yeah, he's just, in general, just a really good rupture unit. Super underrated for a while because of Talisman, but like now that he's like sort of alone in like the potency bot niche outside of Dayu Ryoshu, I think he has a solid place in A tier. Like, genuinely. I genuinely think he's really good. And now Ring. So Ring, I think, is a super overrated ID. Like, I don't think he is that good. Like, he might even be B tier. And let me explain why. So, when you look at an ID with super front-loaded infliction but low damage, such as W Corp Yi Song, you sort of see that Rupture doesn't have Sanguine Desire. Like, you sort of need, like, potency-heavy, count-heavy IDs to, like, get a good Rupture stack going, because you don't have an ego to do it for you. However, Bleed has so many of such egos. It has Contempt, Awe, Corrosion, which just inflicts, like, what, like 18-7 bleed for free, as long as you have Lust Resonance. You have Sanguine Desire, which just completely eliminates any need for count as long as you have enough resources. And, like, Sanguine Desire is, like, the one thing that makes Bleed viable. Like, without Sanguine Desire, Bleed would just be dog shit. Like, it would have worse damage, wouldn't be able to infinite clash on story. Like, it just wouldn't really have, like, any of the feats that it currently does. Besides maybe, like, early RR5, which didn't require Sanguine Desire. So, like, he's, like, super low A. He's super low A just because bosses have a lot of coins and you can't afford Sanguine Desire every single turn. But I just don't think he's that good. Like, he's sort of the same niche as W Corp Yi Song, except he doesn't need... Except, like, Bleed doesn't need count stacking as much as...
Shopping for your next car? What about third row seats?
Okay. Yeah, so, sorry about that. Bleed just doesn't really need his count application. And, like, let me rant a bit, but his count application isn't even that amazing by modern standards. Like, everybody's, like, glazing him, like, oh, he has free count on S2, and then when you look inside, it's not even free. It's like if we go to the ID, it's like, even at, like, 100% reuses, which is already kind of annoying, you have, like, you have more of a chance at getting just +3 bleed count total than getting even like +9 or whatever. So the average is technically like 6, but this is so inconsistent that it's sometimes like 3 and sometimes it's like 12. And this has been super annoying for any kind of optimization, because I remember in like early RR5 I was running this guy, and he would just completely troll by inflicting only 3 bleed count and like a bunch of tremor and nothing else. Also, the random burn is super annoying, and it's for like a really strange reason. So back in RR5, when we were using bleed, like in the early days, like, you would try to like edge the stagger bar of the Teddy by like clashing as much as possible and letting it take bleed damage. But then the problem is that the burn from this skill 2 would actually stagger the Teddy, and so it was like unbelievably annoying because you basically just miss out on a lot of free damage from bleed procs, especially when you have like a stack of like 50-60 bleed. So this was just complete dog shit to run for like an optimization context. But I think I have too much of a hate boner for this ID. Like, for casuals, he's like a really good intro to bleed, and like he's still decent, and he also like feeds Ring Hong Lu, so I think I'm gonna put him in bottom A. Also, I'm gonna take a break for 1 moment just to like get water. I'll be back in like 1 minute or less. Bye bye. Okay, I'm back. So, yeah, Ring, bottom A tier, maybe high B. I really haven't decided yet, but I just don't think he's that good anymore. In like 2024, he would have been like S or SS, but he's just A tier now. Solemn Lament above Spice Bush. Sorry guys, but like, this is just true. Solemn Lament has more use cases in more situations and is more convenient. Like, Spice Bush needs really specific circumstances to be better than Solemn Lament. Like, this isn't really like an opinion, this is just true. Like, if you look at like history of like optimization and world records, or even just like casual play, Solemn Lament has just been decisively better for like 2 seasons. So he goes in S tier for basically like enabling syncing to be like a real comp. Next we have, okay, I don't really know what this guy does anymore. Like, if you're running burn, right? You kind of want to run Blade of the House of Spiders Ryoshu. And for her to be like really good, you sort of need to also run Index Yi-Song to like get killed, or just as like a supporting wrath damage. And like, this guy used to be good for like healing SP for Magic Bullet and Donclair, but now Donclair has the conditional that like sticks him at 25 SP for the rest of the encounter, as long as Faust is alive. And so this just isn't that needed anymore. And also because Magic Bullet is sort of like cornered, because the raw damage of House of Spiders just exceeds what she can do with her extra burn Dark Flame damage. So he goes in like B tier because he's still okay. Like he still has a good support passive. Still has like good damage, I guess. But he's just like worse than Ring and W Corp, like overall. Okay, next we have this guy. What does this guy even do? Like genuinely, I kind of forgot like how his kit works. This is just such a forgettable ID. Okay, he has 105% on S1 for absolutely no reason. He has count positive. Okay, this is like +2 count positive. This is really good for poise. He has this thing for Fell Bullet. Pretty decent passive for it. This S2 is actually like pretty strong damage because it's 105%. And then there's Mini Fell Bullet. This is just Fell Bullet but worse. Like, it takes forever to ramp up to this. That much I do remember. Cause you need to crit a bunch of times to get Torn Memory. And so typically it takes like 5 or 6 turns to get to this. And like, once this skill pops off, it's really strong. Like, this is objectively just a really strong skill. Like, you have 140% from Torn Memory, 280% if you killed an ally, a lot of attack weight, because you gain up to like 3 on the second coin and 1 on the first coin. You have all of these, which is just really crazy. Like, this is just a theoretically really strong skill. Like, now that I'm reading it again. But the problem is, like, in order to make full use of this, you basically need to haul around, like, low-level sacks for your entire run just to feed this guy. And, like, while his damage is really good, it's nothing compared to, like... It's just nothing compared to this, which has the same ramp-up time and scales even further once you use it the first time. So this is his competition as, like, a poise damage unit. And he doesn't even, like, require you to haul like a bunch of level 1 sacks around. Like, he just gets going. This guy, I don't know. Yeah, like, at least his poise is decent. Like, his poise is actually pretty good. I don't know, probably like high C, low B. I don't know, probably low B. This one, this is like a very whatever unit. He has concussion. Concussion's pretty good. Like if you look at, hold on. Yeah, so if we look at concussion, it raises the tremor, stagger threshold raised, and it also increases rupture damage, and it's additive with the status resistance. And so like with modern bosses that have like 50%, 75%, like 30%, that sort of thing, like you can actually get some value out of this. Like rupture wise, he's worse than W Corp Yi Song, but he's good for like damage. Like this is actually a pretty strong skill. It's a bit inconvenient to ramp up to, but once like you use it at the right time, it's actually good. Like it's just 3 AoE, free 50% dynamic, and it also buffs Ishmael and gives her like an extra S3. So it's really not that awful. I think I'll put him in like I don't know. Yeah, similar. I think he's gonna be above N Corp, but he's gonna be below Liu Yisong. Yeah, I wouldn't put him over Wu either. Like, I feel like this unit, N Corp Yisong, is just so inconvenient that even if he's theoretically like a really strong AoE unit with good poise, he's just not worth running, because the opportunity cost is that you're running him over this guy, which is just an instant SS, and I'm gonna explain why. So there are certain mouth-breathing morons in this community who have never optimized a single thing in their life. Their ball knowledge and their team building knowledge comes from TikTok, and they have the audacity to say that this ID is like B tier just because it doesn't fit into a team. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? This ID can fit into pretty much any team you want. Like, RR2 world record, I use this guy. RR6 world record, I use this guy. RR5 various runs, I use this guy. Like, he just has so many use cases because he's just a complete strategic damage unit that doesn't require like any status to function. Like, you just put the square in the square hole and you get 600 damage skill 3 for free. Like, that's all that's like his main purpose. And when is 600 damage S3 for free not a good purpose? Like, if he just has so many more use cases compared to like so many of the other units in B to S. Like, a lot of these other units on Yi Song require such a specific like sort of team comp and situation to be top tier. Meanwhile, he is so good that he outdamaged Ring Nurse Father Hong Lu in his own shill reflectile. That's how good he is. Like, think about it. Lust 1.5, super shill on bleed, and he still outdamages the Nurse Father that the reflectile was intended to shill. Like, this is how good he was. Okay? So he's definitely SS, he's definitely the best Nurse Father. I do not want to hear any other opinion because it's wrong, and anybody who says otherwise just has not played Refraction Railway enough to know how convenient and how good this guy is. Anyways, next up, this guy's dogshit, C tier. Remnant Faust, I mean, she has the 4 haste on S2, she has the Gloom, she has the, what else does she have? Pretty much nothing. She's good for Everlasting, though. Top of D tier. Dog shit. Dog shit. Okay, Butler Faust, you know, she's like a garbage unit except for one thing on her kit. And that one thing is Echoes of the Manor. At this point in Sinking's sort of lifespan, you don't really need it as much. Like, not only is there an alternative way to get it, which is Bygone Days Ishmael Corrosion, which also gives Gloom hand to Jongoff's rep Ishmael, but she also just isn't like very a good unit past S3. Like, typically, if I'm gonna use Echoes of the Manor, I'm actually gonna drop the S3 and then sacrifice her just so that she doesn't get in the way, because, like, after S3, she just becomes total dog shit. So I'm thinking either, like, top B or bottom A. I'll go for bottom A for now. I don't know. You can really go any way with this. Like, it depends on the length of the content and everything, but in general, she's, like, bottom A. Over Ring, I don't think so. Because you have to remember that there are alternatives to using her. Like, she just happens to be the most convenient and most dominant in certain forms of content. But I don't think she's, like, all that. Like, there are ways to circumvent using her, and those ways to circumvent using her are actually better in some cases. So, I don't know. Like, top B, bottom A, I don't know. Maybe, like, the very top of B. Because, like, if we look at the tiering criteria, it's like B is units that are above average because they like fill a certain niche, or like either they're like decently strong overall, or they like fill a certain spot in the team despite not being very strong. And I think that fits Butler Faust perfectly. So she goes in B tier. And Corp Faust, bench, if you want to know why. Let me just show you for 1 minute. Whispers, 3 Lust Res, heal 15 SP. Like this is just free SP pretty much, as long as you have Lust. Instant bench. 7 Faust, I don't know. I kind of forgot like what her inflictions are like. I think she was like almost count neutral. I don't know. C or D? What do you guys think? Because on the one hand, you're griefing by not using Malfaust, but on the other hand, she's like not even awful as a rupture unit. Like, she has like okay-ish potency, okay-ish count. Damage is whatever. Like, she's just very average standard fare unit. But then again, like, similar to like the issue with Fell Bullet and Blade Lineage is like this guy, just like Malfaust has her. Like, I don't know. I guess like bottom of C. I think that's pretty accurate. Yeah, so that's a pretty valid point. Like, if you don't have her, she's not that bad. But this tier list sort of assumes that, like, for C and above, like, for the actual decent units, this assumes that you're, like, up to date. Like, obviously she would be B tier in, like, Kanto 4, which is around when she came out. But just in modern day gameplay, she's just very whatever. So she's, like, bottom of C. Next we have Regret. C. This is, like... I don't really know why you would use this unit anymore. Like, her AoE is okay. Like, she's decent for, like, blunt Luxcavation, I guess. She's, like, okay-ish in Mirror Dungeon. But she's, like... She has she's supposed to be the Tremor Faust that carries Everlasting, but she doesn't even do it that well. Because not only does she cap off at 3 to 6 speed, but she also has this, like, really stupid passive. Hold on, let me show you. Yeah, so she has this really stupid passive that if she loses a bunch of SP from, like, Ego, from, let's say, Everlasting, she gains Bind. Which is, like, the opposite of what you want on Faust. Like, this is just griefing. So, she's, like, bottom of C. She's just not good. Okay, like... Okay, so the thing about Regret Faust is about her getting Mog, like... She was actually, like, a pretty good Tremor unit, like, when she first came out. Like, if you look at her kit, she has, like, shit ton of Tremor bursts. She has... yeah, she has the, typical, Season 2 consume Tremor count on self. 3 bursts, AoE, Wrath damage, AoE on S2. Like, she was okay when she released, but nowadays she's just whatever. Blade Lineage Faust, also very whatever. Like, pretty much just Index Faust, except she synergizes with BL Merceau, and she gets, like, buffs. I don't know exactly to the extent of how much her buff how much Merceau's buffs actually buff her, but I would assume it's around the same as Blade Lineage Yi Song, maybe even slightly better, just because she has, like, slash fragility and stuff. So I don't know. I'll put her below him though, just because, like, even if she doesn't have the slash, even if BL Yi Song doesn't have the slash fragility that she does, he still has that coin power passive, which, like, makes him super good for, like, ego carrying. just because he can get +3 coin power on like high coin egos for free. No, she's not bottom B tier. Because like bottom B tier genuinely has IDs that have like 300% dynamics. Like Wu Yi Song, AoE, Butler Faust, Echoes, Encore P Song, like 300% dynamics plus AoE. Like, she just doesn't really have anything that makes her good. She's just like average, maybe like slightly above average. And you also sort of need to run her over, like, let's say Mao Faust or Index Faust, or like even LCE Faust still like sees more usage than her. So I don't know. I just don't think she's that amazing. She's definitely like top of C tier, but she's not B tier. She's good for C tier, but she's not above average. That's like the sad reality. Okay, multi-crack Faust, I don't know. She was the first ID that sort of started that trend of, hey, I'm going to gain charge and then consume it, and then I'm going to gain charge potency every time I consume charge count. And like this is like an interesting trend, but the thing is, she does it worse than everybody else. Like, she's the first of the gang to actually like have that mechanic, and it's just so inconvenient. It takes her like even if you have this ego telepole, like she just has worse charge generation than the other ones who have charge potency. So she's like top of C. Cause like she's still okay. Like if you look at her numbers, she's pretty solid, honestly. She's a bit underrated just because content is faster now, but I remember she was pretty good in RR4. Like for a while she was using like world records and stuff. I don't think she's bottom C. Bottom C is genuinely like Regret Faust level. And Regret Faust is just much weaker than Multi-Crack Faust. So I think top C is just good enough for her. Oh yeah, and also, if you actually... Hold up, let me go back to Telepole. If you have, like, charge count on S3... So if it maxes out at 20, you could get like 40% damage on S3 for free with this passive, which is honestly like pretty okay. So I don't know, like top C, maybe below Blade Lineage, I don't know. Yeah, like around there. I'd say that's good. Though I'm considering putting her above Dimension Shredder because Dimension Shredder, even if he has like more damage and more convenient charge ramp up, generates more resources, Faust's egos are really good for... Okay, so Telepole makes her sort of scale slower. Like, if you use it early on, you can get the charge count that you need to get the first charge potency, and then after that, like, it becomes like a snowball effect, so... I don't know, it depends on the situation. But for Dimension Shredder, even if he has like more damage and more convenient charge ramp, he just has like a way worse set of egos. Like, in addition to Telepole, she also has Hexnail, which is super free on like Charge and Envy. You get Envy Fragility, Pierce Fragility, this really good passive. Like, you just get a bunch of stuff. And I think for that reason, Multi-Crack Faust is above Dimension Shredder. LCE... I think she's like... I don't know. Okay, so the thing about LCE Faust is, back in her day, she was the strongest skill in the game. If you don't believe me, I can actually show you. So if you go to her skill 3-2, this is like 50% and then 30% on last coin, so it's like 80% dynamic on S3-2, and she also has offense level up to 5, so that's plus 10 offense level, which is actually a lot of static multiplier. And then the main thing is like the power and the AoE. So this thing can roll up to this thing can, like, genuinely do a lot of damage. And if you take the AoE into account, this is basically like a 5 AoE Ring Sang S2 pretty much, which is like 100 damage. So this shit, like at full power, it did hundreds of damage. And I think it's even like in the modern day, it's still among the strongest AoE skills in the game, like if you at full power. Let me just actually do a calculation really quick. Okay, so we go to 0.513. Oh, this is 3 coin power. Okay, hold up. 14. And then you actually have the static multiplier from plus 10 offense levels. So that's, I believe that's about 25. So 130 damage across 5 targets actually, because it's plus 1 for every 20%, max 4. And then you have the ego resources on death, and you have like the shit ton of burn that it inflicts. So this times 5 is over 600 damage. That's really impressive. Like, you rarely find true AoE in Limbus. And this is like one of those skills that's like really good, but really situational. And she's actually still really good at top level play. Because, hold up, let me show you something. If we go to a certain Refraction Railway 1 video. Let me just go find it real quick. Yeah, here it is.
A few disclaimers before...
Okay, so where's the thing I wanted to showcase? Yeah, if we go here, you can see, like, on turn 2, you can have an insanely strong AoE skill that generates a bunch of resources too. So, like, if you play correctly, this can be really good. So I think she's like low A. Potentially even like mid A. I think she's worse than like LCE. I don't know. Yeah, probably like low A is probably good. I don't know if she's better than Ring. Oh, thank you for the donation. I love you too. Okay, and then we have Malfaust. Honestly, I hate this ID. This ID sucks. Like, she ruined Limbus, honestly. This is where we started to go from, like, 350 damage in one turn at absolute max to, like, 1,000 damage a turn. This is when that shit started happening. And it's because of a bug. Like, she was originally designed to use her S3 2 every like 3 or so turns once she's ramped up. But because they accidentally undercapped the Tianju Starblade generation, she could use the S3 2 every turn, and it has death rights, and it's count positive. So she's basically just like the Rupture Hitler, and I think everybody knows why she's the best unit in the game, like one of the best units in the game. And she's the best unit in the game for like short-term content, so like 1 to 3 turns. And yeah, she's just undisputed SS, honestly. Like, I don't think there's even an argument here. She-Faust. She-Faust is like underrated. Like, I don't think she's dog shit. Well, maybe she is, but like she's not as dog shit as people say she is. Like, even if her gimmick is really stupid, like her base kit is actually kind of okay. Like, if you actually like do the numbers and stuff, she's like decent if you don't play the bow mode. Like, if you play like normal melee combat, she's like okay-ish. She's like W Corp Dom tier, so she's like bottom C. But she's not nearly as dog shit as people make her out to be. And actually, let me prove it. So if we go over to, where is she? She-Faust. Like, you can see that there's some actually pretty good stuff here. Like, it's nothing amazing, especially by, like, Season 6 standards. But, like, this is good count, pretty decent potency. And she also has this, where is it? There's a debuff somewhere on there that, like, gives free bleed count and fragility. But yeah, this isn't horrible at all. Like, this is like W Dawn tier. And I would say W Dawn is like bottom C. Just like barely in the average tier for performance. Index Faust, I don't know, like high C, I guess. Good Thoracalgia bot, like decent ramp up damage. Kinda whatever. Yeah, okay, so you're right. The lodged arrow thing does in fact happen on the S3 too. But like, this isn't awful. It's just okay-ish. It's nothing like horrible. Like, people will say that this is like the most dogshit ID in the game, but this is easily better than like Pequod.
Shopping for your next car?
Bro, shut up.
What?
This is easily better than like Pequod Song or like Sync Dawn or like any of the other like D tier IDs. So I don't know, like bottom C. But that's enough about that. Ring Faust, Easy S, like, I think this is a better bleed unit than Ring Honglu, and I'm going to show you why. If we go to her Iron Maiden effect, it's like if she gets hit, she inflicts bleed count, which is super important because it actually comes before the coin. So essentially, you can get like, and you have like the defense that inflicts bleed count. Like, you have just a bunch of good stuff for count, and this is especially good because the bleed count infliction goes before the consumption on the coin. So essentially, as long as she's being attacked unopposed, then it's basically like a mini Sanguine Desire. And like, she's actually like one of the few tanks in the game that makes genuinely good use of her tanking abilities. Like, most tanks in the game just have high HP, low damage, but like, she's high HP, high damage, and has like an actual benefit to letting her get hit. And like, after she's ramped up, like, this becomes a 3 AoE like nuke skill basically. So she's basically like a blood fiend, but like buffed. And she has the Iron Maiden and the tanking and the extra buffs from like charge potency and all that. So I think she's genuinely good. She's like low S tier. She's not like a carry.
Shopping for your next car?
Bro. She's like not a super carry like Solemn Lament or Spice Bush, but she's up there. She's a really solid unit, and I'm probably going to be using her in Bleed for like multiple seasons just because of the Iron Maiden effect. Yeah, so sort of like when she Faust released, the main argument was like, for the same amount of shards, you might as well just get Malfaust, and that's like a pretty good argument. You know what? That's a good idea. And instead of yeah, so I forgot what I was gonna say. Anyways, Dawn Faust, Easy S, maybe even like higher than Solemn Lament. I don't know. At least higher than Spice Bush though. So Dawn Faust is like the strongest of the three Dawn trio because basically she gets a really strong S3 for like basically free. Like, you just need to ramp up for like a couple turns and you already have like a really strong S3. And then actually, let's see how much damage it does, because they never actually, I think it's like 300 ballpark. Yeah, 300 ballpark, I think. 300 damage S3, and then the next turn she can use another 300 damage S3 via the counter. And then after that, she ramps up faster and faster because of Battle Instinct, which gives her extra Butterfly Coffins. So basically, she's like Burn Malfaust. Like, the thing that makes her weaker than Malfaust, though, is just because of how much Malfaust carries Rupture and how fast Malfaust can ramp up. Like, that's the only thing that makes her below Malfaust. And in fact, if you like look at like recent world records and like optimized clears and stuff, she's actually used in Malfaust more because of her synergy with Blade House of Spiders Ryoshu. Like, she just has so many use cases, just like a really strong unit overall, maybe even better than Solemn Lament, just because like the current content is heavily favored towards burn. Yeah, but definitely high S tier. Shidon, passive, free / damage, as long as you have Wrath. Really good on like burn and stuff, and like, yeah, just a generally really good support passive. Ncorp Dawn, D tier, she would be F tier, however, she has something and it's called speed range. Yeah, so 2 to 5 speed range. She is the slowest Don Quixote ID in the game, which makes her like a good carrier for certain egos. Like, for example, in RR1. Yeah, so Malfaust is above Rian Sang because Rian Sang is like super front loaded on like one particular type of content. Like, if the content lasts 5, either exactly 5 turns or more than 8 turns, he's like one of the best IDs, but between that, he's worse than Malfaust. Like, Malfaust is better during his downtime. And like, Malfaust has sadly more use cases than Rian Sang, even if Rian Sang is really good. So Malfaust is like SSS, even if Rian Sang is SS. And I'm pretty sure this comparison has existed ever since Rian Sang first came out. So I think it's only fair that I put Malfaust slightly above him. Lantern Dawn, I don't think this idea is that bad. It's better than Multicrack and Dimension Shredder. Maybe even better than Index Faust, I don't know. I'll put her like mid-C for now, because like, she's one of the few truly unconditionally count positive Rupture IDs in the game. And that's honestly like pretty good for like starting stacks. Like, I remember she was used in RR6 for a while to start a stack on Will You Play? And she was also useful for a brief moment in RR1, and still is kind of useful just because Malfaust is really good there. So just being one of the only count positive Rupture IDs in the game, no, she's not better than Ncorp Sang. Like, she's better on like turn 1 and 2. Past turn 2, Ncorp is just better. Like, because if you're like going by like turn 3, turn 4 with Rupture, then like you're already far surpassing Lantern Dawn's potential. Blade Lineage Dawn, bottom C. I heard somewhere that like with the Blade Lineage buffs, she's like actually okay damage wise, but I think this number is sort of fraudulent. Like, I think she's just like okay-ish. Like 4 plus 3, 4 plus 4, and then you have I don't know exactly how much the buff is, but like she's just okay-ish. Like, she's still weaker. Yeah, like I remember somebody did like a damage comparison of Yi Song, Faust, and all the others on the Blade Lineage team. She was still like one of the weakest. And she's just like not worth running over Index Dawn in a lot of situations. Like, Faust and Yi Song both have like sort of niches that they can fill. She doesn't really have anything. She's more of like a support passive. So I guess she's like bottom C. Maybe above She Faust though. I think that's fair. Just because She Faust like is still, I think, like around her power level, except she has like an actual team. Yeah, they are overglazed. Like, people say like, oh, it turns the old IDs into modern IDs, but like modern IDs is like freaking Nurse Fathers. Like BLE Sang competition is this guy on like the same niche, except for Imgyeongop, whatever you pronounce it, Reflect Trial. Like, that's the only place where BL beats this guy on like any any sort of like poise related comp. It's just not like, it's not all that. Like the upscale is good, but it's not like super good. W Corp Dawn, 100 damage S3, 2 fragile on S2, just like decent. Probably like She-Faust tier. Maybe like above, just because like she does the same thing, but like her ramp is slightly better. But I think she's genuinely worse than Blade Lineage Dawn now. Sync Dawn, dog shit. Middle Dawn, B tier. I think I'll put her like between Butler and the others, just because she's like actually kind of valuable now. But she can't really be higher than B tier. Like, let me show you guys something. If we go to Great Limbus Library and we go to tier list, you can see that for some reason, oh shit. Okay, yeah. Yeah, as you can see, they decided to put her in S tier. And the reason being was that on S3, she can supposedly... Okay, no, this is... Where does it display the damage? Am I stupid? Yeah, for some reason they put her in S3, and the reasoning is that she has like 1,000 DPR or whatever the fuck they claim. But this just isn't true. And the reason why it's super unrealistic is because she's like the 5th best unit on the 5th best team. Like, even on Envy Res, she's like one of the biggest dead weights. I think Queen of Hatred Dawn has more ceiling than her. Okay, yeah, so why? I don't know why. Like, I don't really know the why for most of the Great Limbus Libraries, I don't really know the reason for most of Great Limbus Libraries, like, placements, and their damage calculations are, like, egregiously wrong half the time, but the thing is, like, no matter how you put it, like, even if you, like, go on a spreadsheet and you glaze Middle Dawn and say, like, she has 1,000 DPR or whatever, like, this is completely irrelevant. Like, she requires Envy Res, and she's the 5th best unit on the 5th best team, which is, like, very whatever. I think she's genuinely worse than Butler Faust because the value that Butler Faust brings to syncing can actually help put syncing to be way above a tier than Envy Res. And that's like part of the criteria for tier list judgment, especially for the higher tiers when things start to get like really, really tricky. So theoretically good, but I think that she's having her season of glory this season. I don't believe she will get any future upscales. And I think that Queen of Hatred Dawn has a higher ceiling. Because Queen of Hatred Dawn can output like relatively similar damage, but more concentrated on burst, and has like AoE utility and stuff like that. So, oh yeah, and she's like a much better carrier for the ego. So, I think this is Middle Dawn's season of glory, and she still manages to be 5th best unit on the 5th best team. I think she will be like, the moment we get another Envy Res ID, I think she'll just be like out of the team. I just think that's like a given truth, because she's the weakest damager on Envy Res, and she doesn't do anything else for Envy Res, which is already like not a very good team at the top level. So she's definitely below Butler Faust. And then we have T-Corp Dawn, A tier. No, yeah, there we go. This is gonna be really controversial. Oh my god, guys. This YouTuber just put T-Corp Dawn over Middle Dawn. He just put T-Corp Dawn over Butler Faust. And I agree that the Butler Faust choice is controversial. I might even move her up a bit. But, okay, let me explain something to you guys. T-Corp Dawn has this really unique ability. It's called Time Moratorium. And to, like, a casual player, this is completely irrelevant because you're probably not going to be delaying damage anyways. But so basically what this does is not only can it, like, potentially bypass some HP gates on, like, low turning, but it also amplifies the damage by 1.3x and re-deals it as sloth damage. So if we go to my own... What the hell is this? If we go to my own world record, which doesn't use T-Corp Dawn, but that's because I used Heisho Dawn for the doll, you can see that this boss with over 4k HP is Sloth Fatal. And you will see how impactful Time Moratorium is, because I'm not even using like any super damage skills. Like it's Gloom 0.5 for the sinking, so the sinking damage is halved. And then yeah, you could just see what this does. Like anything that's Sloth like weak, the multiplier goes from 1.3x to like up to over 4 times the damage, which is just insane. Like on RR1, for example, you can turn the what was it, like 400, 500 damage on the Snake Inquisitors into over 1.6k. That's how crazy this ability is. And in fact, it was so good that when RR4, where Time Moratorium was used on like half the sections, they had to gut the next railway and make everything Sloth 0.5 just to prevent sinking plus Moratorium. Like, they made Gloom 0.5, Sloth 0.5 just to prevent this strategy. Which is, like, crazy, because this one unit single-handedly changed the balance of Railway. So I think she's definitely A tier. I don't know, maybe I'll move Butler to, like, low A. Manager Dawn. Hot take, but I think this is the most washed capstone. Like, this is like, worse than T-Corp Dawn. And I'll explain why. This unit entirely relies on her faction to be good. Like, let's look at her S3, for example. If we go to Manager Dawn, Skill 3. You can see that her S3 too has this conditional for plus 100% damage, which is, like, one of the big reasons why she was able to beat, like, Wild Hunt and stuff, aside from Gloom Resistance in RR5. It's because of, like, Hard Blood, Blood Feast Consumed, stuff like that. However, the problem is, to efficiently, like, ramp up, you need other Blood Fiends. Without other Blood Fiends, she's, like, below average. I'm not even joking. Like, if you look at the average, if you look at, like, Index Dawn, for example, go to S3-2, completely self-ramping. Unlock stage, like, free dynamics for basically nothing, like Shin, offense level, like, plus 20% on passive. Like, this is just a much better unit than Manager Dawn at this point, because she does better damage while being more self-sufficient, and has, like, more niches. But that's not to say that Manager Dawn is bad, okay? When I do my next stream, which I believe will be RR6 Bleed, I'm actually going to use Manager Dawn, and I do think she's still pretty viable. However, she's just not what she used to be, and for that, she goes in, like, low A tier. Probably above, maybe above Butler Faust, I don't know. Yeah, I think this is good. Or maybe, you know what? T-Corp Dawn can go in here. I think this is a good placement for her. What do you think of deleveling letting you be able to sack Priest Gregor? Yeah, her enhanced skill 1 is actually really good. So let me show you. It's a 3-coin S1 with, like, an actual solid roll. Like, this is 4+5, 3-coin, has, like, damage from her, like, passive and whatever. Like, this is a pretty good skill, and it activates bleed. And it gains 20 bleed, so you can, like, ramp up your hard blood. This is a good skill. The problem is you need to run Priest Gregor, and Priest Gregor's dog shit. But what do I think? I think that what they need to do is they need to make an upscale ego for Manager Dawn. Like, we have, like, in Library of Ruina, you had this abnormality, which was, like, the vampire, which is, like, supposedly related to the original, like, Kindred vampire that started all the Blood Fiends. And I think that if we get an ego for him, then they could add, like, always active, includes backup units for activating enhanced skills. And I think that would be a genuine upgrade, because then you can just bench Priest Gregor and, like, Barber Otis, and you can still get the enhanced skills without needing to field, like, subpar units. But other than that, like, the main problem is the Blood Feast consumed. Like, these conditionals are just super annoying because you need to run subpar units to get them. If she was more self-sufficient, she would definitely be high A tier. Like, I definitely think she's still good, she just needs, like, convenience upgrades. Sync Dawn. Like, top of C tier, I don't know. I think she's, like, stronger than Lantern damage-wise. She has more convenient ramp than these two, and she has, like, burn, so I guess she fits somewhere. She's, like, pretty okay. I don't even have to, like, look at the damage, because I kind of have her kit memorized, but it's just, like, very whatever. She's, like, mid-C tier. Queen of Hatred Dawn. Top of B tier. Like at the very, very top of B tier. I think she has potential to be A tier. It's just that not only does the content, like, not super favor her, but also, like, she doesn't really have much of a team. Like, she's a very, like, team-centric ID that relies a lot on Envy Res, because the only way to get Magical Arcana, which is, like, what drives her ramp-up, is actually Envy Res, and currently Middle Dawn is just stronger there. However, I am putting Queen of Hatred Dawn above Middle Dawn, just because I believe Queen of Hatred has, like, a generally higher ceiling in top play. Like, Middle Dawn's way better for casuals, but Queen of Hatred is, like, the stronger unit overall, if that makes any sense. Way Branch Dawn, top of B tier. Everybody knows the butterfly trick where you, like, sub her in. You can actually see in my R2 world record that I actually use this tactic to great effect. Let me show you. Yeah, so this turn will end and you will see her basically, like, sub in and do a shit ton of damage and inflict a shit ton of sinking. Yeah. I think she's, like, B tier for that reason. Like, just look at how much damage this can do under the right conditions. Like, this does include sinking, but if we go to... If we go to, like, this, for example, it's sort of just more of the same. Yeah, like, this is, like, 400 damage or something. Yeah, so just a generally good unit for this specific strategy. I don't know if I'm gonna put... Yeah, you're right. So I don't know if I'm gonna put Way Dawn over Queen of Hatred. I think Way Dawn just has more uses at the moment, but I think they're, like, in power level, Queen of Hatred is better. Yeah, this is like super ambiguous. I don't know. Index Dawn, A tier, probably better than. Is she better than Ring Sang? I don't know. This is a tricky one. Because she has really good damage, but at the same time, she is the perfect sack for Blade of the House of Spiders Ryoshu, who has better damage, so... I don't know. Yeah, probably around here. I think I'm gonna... Actually, here. I think that's a good placement. Manager Dawn can go above... Like that, yeah. I think that's pretty good. Next up, 7 Ryoshu. This is going to be an extremely hot take, and do not laugh at me. But I think 7 Ryoshu is better than all of these. Okay? And I'm going to show you why. If we go back to my channel, you can actually see a very funny tactic involving her skill 3. Yeah, so you can see, where is it? Yeah, there we go. You see this little icon right here? That is 5 slash fragility. That is plus 50% slash damage on turn 2. And the reason it's a hot take is because a lot of casuals will immediately go, oh no, this is a really shitty 0-0 with bad clashing and bad damage. And then you look at the kit, and it has 5 slash fragility. Which is crazy, because that's not only like 50% on her skill, that's 50% for everybody using slash skills. Yeah, she is the demon of C tier. That is completely accurate. Because she is way better than all of these guys who just do like okay-ish damage and have no real niche. Meanwhile, she is like actually viable in optimized strats and is like okay for a 0-0. Like, I think she's worse than Lantern Dawn just because of like sheer volume. Like, Lantern Dawn just has like more use cases. But she is a demon. Like, 5 slash fragility is really crazy. This one, dog shit. Liu Ryoshu. I don't know. Slightly better than this, I guess. Euro Devi Ryoshu. I don't know. Probably like here, I guess. Like the follow-up attacks are pretty good. Kurokuma Ryoshu. I think she could be here. And she is like fundamentally a really bad damage unit, but she has something that kind of saves her, which is like the amount of bleed count she inflicts for basically free. And this is further boosted by the fact that she has, actually, you know what? +3 isn't even that good anymore. I think I'll move her down. She's like bottom C tier. Maybe better than She Faust, but I'm not sure. Yeah, this is probably good. Okay, so like when I say bad clashing, I don't mean like bad clashing compared to other 0-0. I mean bad clashing compared to like modern IDs. Like a modern ID, pretty much all you have to do is stack like 10 burn and they immediately clash 30. Chef Ryoshu, also a really hot take, but I think she is actually the true demon of C tier. And it's because of a funny interaction with her S3. So we go here, and she has this boost damage by 5% of target's missing HP. And you think that this is a 20% damage boost or something. But no, it's 20 flat damage. So this skill is essentially 26 plus 29 plus 32 plus 35. This is 122 base damage without these dynamics and without like static multipliers. And this thing is actually, this bonus damage is actually impacted by static multipliers. So, okay, let me show you something really funny. So if we go back to my channel, and you can see one of my old videos, I believe it's this one, RR1. Where do I, okay, yeah, I think it's like somewhere here. Yeah, so after the, how much damage was this wing beat? Yeah, so after the 1000 damage wing beat, she goes next, and you will see what exactly this skill can do, okay? So 64, 137, 220, 320. That's 320 damage on turn 1 with like 0 conditionals. Like, all she did was roll heads and attack a broken part, and she did over 300 damage on turn 1. And this is like a more useful niche than some of these guys. So I believe she's like here. She's genuinely high C tier, even if a lot of new players would put her in like D or F tier. Just because of that really funny interaction. And so W Corp Ryoshu, it's like also similar. W Corp Ryoshu's like, her damage is like okay. It's like 100 and something on S3 on like turn 3. It's very whatever. Yeah, I think she's like around there. I don't know, maybe she's even better than Dimension Shredder and Multi-Crack. I'm not sure, because like she ramps up way faster, and she also has a Slash Fragility on S2, and her S2 to S2 is really good. But it's still weaker than like Multi-Crack. Like Multi-Crack has like a shit ton of blunt fragility, stronger S2, stronger S3, longer ramp up time, but that's pretty much it. So she goes around here. Maid Ryoshu, bottom C tier, does like pretty much nothing besides be like okay. Red Eyes Ryoshu, she's like around W Corp tier, probably like here. She does have like good bleed potency though, and she carries Contempt Awe, so she goes like here, I guess, or maybe even, I don't know, like somewhere around this general tier. Mao Ryoshu, bottom A tier. You expected S tier, didn't you? Well, I don't think so. If you actually look at the kit, her damage on turn 2 is good, but it's nothing compared to like the damage units of today. Like in today's time, you have generally more value stacking Rupture Potency for Mao Faust than using Mao Ryoshu. And she was good in like some parts of like RR5 and RR1. Like she's still a really good unit. It's just that like Rupture isn't as powerful as it was before. And they also have Dayu Ryoshu, who has like better potency, better scaling, better resource gen. Like I think they're around like neck and neck. Yeah, I think this is like a fair comparison. Because if you actually like look at Dayu not this one, Dayu Ryoshu's kit, this is like she uses this skill every single turn. 3 Rupture Potency, along with like her base skills, which are already really good Rupture Potency. And she can potentially get buffed by like Talisman passive and stuff. So yeah, this is like a really good Rupture Potency ID. Also like decent damage, decent scaling. Mao Ryoshu is count positive, and she does ramp up quicker. So they're 2 completely different side grades, but I think they're both like bottom of A tier. Or like maybe above Butler, I'm not sure. Maybe even above LCE. Maybe even above Ring Sang, maybe even above him. Yeah, I think this is a fair comparison. Actually, I think putting them at low A tier was a bit of a misunderstanding because, like, they're probably still better than Manager Dawn. This is a difficult one. Index Dawn contribution is being a damage stick. So the thing is about being a damage stick is she's actually a good damage stick. Like if you compare her to like Blade Lineage, she's really good damage. And she's like good for sinking in long fights. So if we go to RR6 section 2 sinking, you can actually see she has like some uses. Let me try to find this. I know there's a video of this somewhere. Yeah, there it is. So if we go to like... Is it? Yeah. Okay, so yeah, Ujat for the Gloom Resist, and then... Yeah, this is like okay damage, because you have to consider that the Wedge is like plus 10 defense level. So she's still doing like 300 or more damage on plus 10 defense level, which is like pretty good on sinking. Surprise LCE Faust has is that high? Okay, so LCE Faust is not actually just because of the potency. It's because of the resource gain and also the damage. So if you play her correctly and you can use like level 1 LCE Faust and like top level strats, you can pretty much like get her S3-2 on turn 2, and that's like over 600 AoE damage on turn 2, which is pretty crazy. It's like a top level strat. Like casuals aren't going to be using this, but it's enough to put her in A tier. Cause like she's still viable. Like even if you just use her as like a burn potency and count stick, like she's still good at that. Like she has one of the highest burn potency inflictions in the game. And then we have Contempt. Aw, she's like B tier. Probably above these guys. The only reason why she's above these two is because she has this really funny effect on her guard where she kind of acts like Sanguine Desire. Like she's sort of like Iron Maiden Faust, where the count is applied before the next coin consumes it. So this has been pretty useful on like certain stages with bleed, and she has like that sort of use case. She also like carries she also kind of like synergizes with him, so I don't know. I guess I'll put her like here. Like mid B tier is decent, because like her damage is good, her AoE is good, she has good like resources for her own ego. She's just good overall. Aroma Ryoshu, top of A tier. Yeah, so not sure if Manadon is actually still deserving of A tier. Like, okay, so for the tiering, B is like above average, and A is like solid, but not top tier. Like, A is like good units that can still hold their own, whether it be in like damage or utility, and S tier is like the truly good shit. Like, Manager Dawn isn't S tier anymore, but I think like mid to low A is still like pretty good for her as a placement. Blade of the House of Spiders, Ryoshu. I just think she's the GOAT. She's like on another level. Like, literally every single RR since she was released, she just dominates. Like, super resource gen with her sacrifices, super damage. Like, in one turn, she basically does like 6 Malfaust turns worth of damage in some railways. Bit slow to ramp up compared to her, of course, but like, nowadays a lot of stuff is like long-term and favors like raw wrath damage. And she also like is more versatile. Like, you can run her in like a lot of different comps. Like I remember in RR2 World Record, I ran her with like sinking and like random like poise units along with burn. She's even like good in Tremor. Are we judging any of the House of Spiders ID by the value they provide of being easy to kill? Sorta. So, not all the sacks are created equal. Some have better buffs than others, and some have more utility while they're alive than others. So, like, Rian Sang and Valentina Rodion, like, they have genuine value in keeping them alive, but even if you keep them as a sack, like, they can still do stuff. Like, Ring Lu and, what's her name? Matthias Otis, like, they provide absolutely no value besides dying, and even their resources are kind of mid. But, like, when you have, like Rian Sang, like, I used, like, Solemn Lament Ego on him to, inflict, like, a shit ton of sinking on the, doll in RR2. And you can also use him for, like, 4th Match Flame for, like, burn. And you can use him, like, temporarily just for having, like, a good S3 and then kill him off right after. Like, not all the sacks have the same utility as other sacks. So, like, a bottom tier sack, like, let's say, Kira Ishmael, obviously has much less value on House of Spiders than, Yi Song, who's not only, like, better alive, but also better as a sack. And he's especially good as a sack because he has, Fell Bullet, which makes the sacking easier. The only ID that makes high cycle R2 actually doable past cycle 20. Yes, she's just, like, completely, like, dominating everywhere. Like, the only way to make her bad is to do, like, Wrath Resist and short-term content, where, like, Malfaust would dominate. Yeah, it's just like Lei Hing and like some reflect trials. Like that's pretty much the only place where she isn't the best. Like she's just way better than Mao Faust overall. Like she has better MD package, better RR package, better like reflect trial, better for like brute forcing. She's just better at everything. Yeah, RR1. RR1 is like 1 to 3 turn content the whole way through. Like you do not need Blade Ryoshu there. So obviously she's worse than RR1. Then we have Loomer. This guy's dog shit. This guy's like bottom D tier. Actually, you know what? I think I'm gonna put Sync Dawn like below the below the speed order merchants, but above the. Yeah, I think this is good. Because like this guy has fragile and she doesn't. Rose Banner, I think he's also like dog shit. He doesn't really do anything. Yeah, did you see that? Yeah, so RR1 is literally just spamming corrosions to sack more allies to spam more corrosions. This shit is so ass. It's basically just infinite Sign of Roses. That's all it is. Except the stuff has like half the HP of Sign of Roses. So essentially it's like the pedophile content of Limbus. Like you're fighting like underscaled like low HP units the whole time. And that is why Mao Faust is like the Epstein of RR1. Like that's like her best like feat is being the best in RR1. Okay, so LCB Merceau is D tier. Like speed range is enough to put you in like mid to low D tier, but it's not enough to put you in C because like C units are actually like generally usable. Like they can actually like clash and do damage and do stuff. Like this guy's just a speed order merchant. Same with Base Ishmael. Middle Merceau, he's like the worst middle unit. He has Electric Screaming and that's all he does. Like all he does is just spam plus 10% damage or plus 20% for everyone else. Like he doesn't really do anything other than that. He's like, I don't know. You know what? I think I'm going to put him on... Because his support passive is really good. She's the Epstein of R1. Yeah, literally. Like, Mao Faust is literally just the pedophile of Limbus. Like, she is only the best unit if the enemy is, like, super weak to gluttony and, like, super underscaled. Like, nowadays, everything is, like, a big boy. Everything has, like, hella HP, hella waves, hella health gates. Like... She's just best for like killing early season content. Like that's what she is the best at. Blade of the House of Spiders Ryoshu just beats her in everything else. So support passive, I don't know, either the bench or because I guess he's like still useful on like the middle roster. So I think I'm gonna put him like here, maybe even here. That's probably good, or maybe above Index Faust. I don't know. But like people generally like overstate his value to the middle. Rupture is the island, yeah. No. Mao Faust is Diddy and Blade of the House of Spiders is Epstein. And this guy's just like Dr. Disrespect or something. This guy is dog shit. Okay, W Corp Merceau is actually okay. Like, he's like a really interesting ID. He has some genuine uses. Like, this shit right here, 8 defense level down, that's actually really good. That's basically like 1.25x resistances from 1x. Like, that's the static multiplier difference with 8 defense level down. And you also have like 2/ fragility, really good speed range. It's like generally just okay. Like I think he's like top of D tier, like around here. Okay, so Aroma is at A because I think she's overrated. Like the reason why people put her in S is because like she's like really good on butterfly comp and like really good for like resource generation. But if you like look at the skills themselves, like she's like pretty much completely damageless. Like, if you want to run a damage Ryoshu, there are multiple better options. Her main thing is having like extra procs for Butterfly and having resource gen. Like, I don't know why that alone would put her in S, because like S has like... S is where the units that carry her go. Like, that is where Butterfly goes, that is where Spice Bush goes. Like, all of the units that carry Aroma Ryoshu are in S. So it's not really fair to put her in S2, because she relies on the team comps that they create to do anything. Without Butterfly, without like the extra sloth gen, she's just very whatever. Like, just a very whatever unit. Like, her damage is okay. Like, sins are okay. Like, other than that, she's just decent. But she gets A simply because of, like, her strategic usage, not because of her power, if that makes any sense. Kind of like how, like, T-Corp Dawn and LCE are an A. Okay, so N-Corp, I think this guy's also, like, top of D. People are, like, very quick to put this guy in F tier, but he actually has some good niches. Like, not only does he have speed range, but he also, like, clashes super low, which is, like, really funny for bleed, because if we go to this ego right here, you inflict and gain attack power down, and with the right setup, you can do this really funny tactic where you can like kill bosses in 2 to 3 turns with bleed using the infinite sanguine clashing thing. Like there's just like a variety of tactics you can do with sanguine desire. Like if we go here, yeah, he just clashes him infinitely because they both roll 0. It's like probably one of the strongest tactics in low turning on story, simply because none of the bosses have the refracted struggle passive, which N-Corp Merceau caused that, by the way. Like, this bullshit is the reason why you see that clashing passive on every enemy in Railway. It's because they did this one time in Railroad 3, and then Project Moon balanced around it. Rhino Merceau, he's like, whatever. He's similar to Kurokuma Ryoshu, just like a count bot. Doesn't really do anything. Blade Lineage... Actually, you know what? Before I go into, like, the next IDs, I kind of want to reorganize A and B a little bit. Because I feel like I'm putting too much stuff in A and C and not enough stuff in B. So I think I might change my rationale for B a little. B is not just going to have, like, decent units, but it's also going to have units that are, like, super niche at doing one thing, but are, like, dog shit at everything else. So, like, for example, Butler Faust is, like, B tier. I guess... You know what? I think I'm going to put, like, I don't know, like, Hornet in B tier. Like, those kind of IDs that are just, like, not like super overpowered in terms of their niches, such as like T-Corp Dawn or like LCE Sang, but they're up there. Like that is what B tier is gonna include now. Yeah, so she is a really nice feels good unit. Yeah, I love using her too. I think like Aroma Ryoshu is one of the most convenient units to use simply because of her resource gen and her extra procs and like her assist like kill confirming like abilities. Like if something's staggered at low HP, she can like finish it off. She's like super convenient, but I don't think she's very powerful. Like she's more like a utility stick than like a strong unit. Okay, so I think I'm actually gonna move. Yeah, Hornet's like bottom of B. It's like okay. Diachi Rodion. Okay, so she would be in like C. Like normally she would be, if you just like take her base kit at face value, she's like low C tier. However, the fact that she has discard and the fact that she can like solo fuel Rhyme Shank is like pretty okay. Like she was kind of like a corner. Yeah, I am very sure because like even if he is not like convenient to use at the moment. If you look at his kit, he is very strong, and like individual ID strength is like part of it. So it's not just how many times can I use this ID in world records? It's also like what's their potential, or like what type of strategies could they potentially be used for. And I think that like once there's a way to like remedy the problem of needing to haul level 1 sacks around for him, I think he like genuinely has potential to be a decent unit. Like 400% dynamics on AoE skill is just not a joke, like no matter how you put it. So I think like because of his inconvenience and because of his low meta usage, he's like bottom B, but he's like still like decent. Like he's better than like Index Faust or whatever. Because like Index Faust is like super easy to power creep, like super whatever unit, not very strong. We have Blade Lineage Merceau. I think he's top of A. He's, in my opinion, he's above Aroma Ryoshu. Yeah, meat potential unit, yeah. So Hornet Merceau, he's not like just good at R2 Bakyak, like yeah. Okay, so I think that the problem with him is he doesn't really have the proper support. Like he's like super niche in activating his power because you need to kill an ally to do it, and it needs to be on like turn 4 or 5. I think that like if we get N-Corp units in the future, like an N-Corp ego sticking that just dies and gives ego resources, I think he might genuinely be good. And anyways, I think Blade Lineage Merceau, top of A, like just one of the, like a really strong damage unit all around. Super good like on House of Spiders because of like the support passive, and you can easily sack him at level 1. Like he's just a higher value sack than a lot of them. He has his ego's super good. Like his ego's just like a free couple hundred damage, and it's super cheap. Yeah, I think he's just top of A. Like he's just like a bruiser. Super good damage. Not like anything like Ryoshu or Rian Sang tier, but he's up there. Diechi Merceau, C tier. Probably like around there. Yeah, that's probably good. Sync Merceau, probably like around here. Very whatever unit. The kill reuse is pretty good. Like he has like a budget onrush where if you kill an enemy, then he reuses it on another enemy, like with S3. But this is an ability that rarely comes out, and you never really use Rupture and mobbing anyways, and there's just better options for like mobbing in general. Like Blade Lineage Merceau has like Bone Claim, he has his Ego Corrosion, all of that. And Sync is just really weak. Like he's around Sync Dawn tier in damage. He was okay on Rupture during the Talisman era, but that era is long gone, and 15-3 isn't that useful anymore, so he's just very whatever. Borderline at S, maybe. I actually used him in R2 Bakyak, and he was really good. The only problem is he is just damage. Like that is all he does. And there are better damage units in both SS, like around this tier, and there's better damage units in S. So he's like top of A, but he's not like quite like meta enough to break into S. Like S is just like the top of the top. Like these are units that basically carry an entire like top team, essentially. Capo, also like top of A. I think he's an overrated unit. Like, he's overrated in the sense that he kind of does the same thing as like Thumb Rodion does, but much weaker. Much weaker. Like, his fully powered skill 3 is like half the damage. He can't reload. His application's good, but it's not like Don Claire is better at this point in application. He's like top of A, super strong damage unit, pretty like versatile-ish, fits in with like the best teams in the game, like not really a carry, so he's just top of A. Prince, B tier, probably like here, I don't know. The reason why I'm putting him in below Middle Dawn is simply because Envy Res is better than Blood Fiends. Like, I think he's potentially strong, Like, if you think about it. But Blood Fiends just suck, man. His entire kit strength comes from buffing Blood Fiends, and they're just very whatever. Similar to how Middle Dawn's entire kit strength just comes from being a middle unit, except middle is stronger than Blood Fiends, so yeah, they're around like the same tier. Except she is slightly better. I think he is that high. Because he has like an actual team now. Because now he not only is like a burn application stick, but he also has like genuine usage for like tremor stuff, outside of just being an everlasting converter. The only problem is in super long content, he sort of falls off and you have to run Hornet to maintain count for Ryoshu. But he's still quite good now. Like, getting other thumb IDs was definitely an upscale for him, I feel, because he can take advantage of Scorch better. Isn't that low? Okay, so the reason why I don't think he's S tier is because if you look in S tier, these are guys with like a super strong ability, or like they're either a top unit in the best teams in the game, or they're like carries for their own team. And Merceau is kind of in like a limbo where he's the 5th strongest unit on House of Spider Scorch, and he can't carry a team on his own. However, he is individually quite strong, and he takes advantage of his team pretty well. So he's an A tier. Yeah, he has the issue of bullets. Yeah. Ring Merceau, B tier, bottom of B, just like a very standard bleed unit. The only reason why Ring Merceau isn't in C tier is just because of Ring Rodion. Like, Mod Color Rouge and Mod Color Blue are actually like decent. Like, if you actually read the kits, you have like up to 3 free bleed potency per turn. You have like, I guess you have like good bleed infliction. If you reuse the coin on the last one, then you get like 4 bleed count for free. Like, this is just generally pretty decent. It's not like Ring. You know what? I'm gonna put Ring at the bottom of A, or at like the top of B. I think this is pretty fair, because when you think about it, both Merceau and Yi Song are just application bots, except this guy's more geared towards just supporting Rodion, whereas Yi Song is more like geared towards like shitting out tons of count for the entire team. So I think this is only fair. But do I put him above Hornet though? That's the only question. Because Hornet has the niche of like super long and mobbing content, which he is better than Capo at, but in every other situation there are just better alternatives. Meanwhile, Ring like doesn't really have any alternatives besides Prince, and Prince is like dog shit without Blood Fiends. So I think I'll do this. I think that's fair. Bullets part is really overblown. Well, secretly you haven't. Yeah, so honestly, you haven't really played RR2 if you think this is not important, or even RR6. Like, you pretty much have to spam Capote to get value out of him without spending bullets, which gets really annoying. Because when he's without bullets, he's basically just like mid-tier damage and super low clashing and nothing else. Like, if he was a House of Spiders ID, it would be good, because like then you can like kill him once he runs out of ammo. But he's not, and that's just the reality. So he becomes kind of like a brick after that. And it's not even RR2 specifically. Like, I'm basing it off RR2 just because it's like the most recent content. But the same can apply to RR6, and it also like applied to RR5 to some extent. Like, it was just super inconvenient to play with. You miss bursts, you miss damage, you miss burn. Like, you just miss a lot of stuff that makes Capo strong. Oh my god, we have so much stuff left. And we're already like hours in. I'm gonna go get water, be right back. Okay, so anyways, dog shit. Same tier as this guy. This one's pretty interesting. Bottom of B. Usable, because like if you actually, he seems like dog shit just because of his like bad damage and whatever. But if you look at like this is actually like decent potency at base, and then if you have the buff from Ishmael, Kurokuma Ishmael, then you can stack like a shit ton of potency with him on turn 1, which is useful for like various bleed strategies. So like for example, like 1 turn, 2 turn, 3 turn with bleed, they all like use him over ring just because he does more faster, like more bleed faster. Like that's his main niche. And so I think I can put him above Ring Merceau for that reason. In fact, I think I can actually put him pretty high, because like, if you actually look at the volume of his bleed application, it's quite a lot. Yeah, so his skill 2 isn't even it. Like, if you look at his passive, 3 bleed on S1, 6 bleed total, and then with the buff from Ishmael, which adds extra bleed application to his skills, that's 7 potency just on S1, which is really crazy. Dog shit. Dog shit. Fang Hunt's okay. Fang Hunt has like an interesting application thing, which was like good in RR5, because he has a passive where if he has bleed, then he inflicts extra rupture. And this is like bugged or something, because for some reason he would inflict like 10 rupture with 1 skill, which was like crazy. I'm not sure if this has been patched, but like other than that really weird interaction with bleed, he's like really dog shit, so he's probably like bottom of C. Okay, so the reason why he's like not above Ncorp or Wu or even Liu Yisong is because he like completely falls off past turn 2. Like, this guy is just dog shit past story gooning content. Like in RR he is dog shit. In Reflect Trial he is dog shit. Like he's pretty much just only good for like gooning with bleed with Sanguine Desire. Like it's still a viable strategy and he's still really good for it, which is why he's in B. But like he's so niche that he just can't be above these guys, which are just really strong overall. Like he's just not all of that. Like he has good like he has a great kit on paper, but in practice he is just not any higher than low B, sadly. Actually, you know what? I think I can put Ncorp Ryoshu like around here. I think that's pretty good. The reason why I moved Ncorp Ryoshu so low is because you grief by not using her. Ting Tang, the bench. Straight to the bench. Oh, or actually, you know what? I think I can move this guy up a little. I think he's genuinely pretty good. He has more use than Blood Fiends do at the moment, so he moves up a little. RR run? Well, it depends on which RR. Like, if you're doing, like, a really weird combination, like Kurokuma only RR, then obviously he's gonna be good. But, like, if you actually use him over Ring Hong Lu in, like, RR2, RR6, RR5 even, that is just griefing. Like, I don't know why you would do that. Because he falls off in damage. His potency infliction isn't as useful once you start hitting potency caps, and all the other like scaling factors start to catch up with the other IDs. So he just becomes way less useful past like turn 2 or 3. K-Corp Honglu. He's like a speed range merchant. I don't know where to put him. I guess like here? I don't know. Yeah, there's pretty good. Diechi Honglu, he's like here probably. Or maybe above them. He's like pretty okay-ish. Like okay damage, but really finicky. Like you can use the evade tactic to get perma 3 insight on him by preventing discards. So he's like he becomes like W Corp Ryoshu tier in damage. Like okay-ish. I'm not putting him in bench because this passive is really stupid. Like anywhere where you're activating Gluttony Resonance, you do not want to like activate multiple of it because then that will just give like multiple ampules to people multiple times and then they will just die. And you really don't want them to die. So he is definitely not a bench person. Well, they do have their own tier and it's called D tier. Because they're bad IDs, it's just that they have somewhat of a use. Like that's basically what D tier is. Okay, next we have Euro Divi Honglu. Hot take, but I think he's B tier. Y'all are gonna hate me for this. People think this ID is dog shit, but I think he's okay. The reason why he is so hated on is because he needs like tremor count ramp and has a bad speed range for reverb. But I think that like tremor content on single bosses that lasts more than like 1 or 2 turns, he is actually like pretty decent. Now he's definitely like bottom of B tier, but he still has a niche and he's still usable in it. So I'm debating on whether to put him like bottom B or high C. I don't know, maybe like, I don't know. Yeah, this is probably good. Or like, yeah. Somewhere around here. Like better than the sync damage sticks and like the multi-cracks and stuff, but like, or maybe even here, who knows? Yeah, that's a good tier. Full stop. Full stop is like a bottom of A. Like still generally useful for short-term pierce and like mobbing and stuff. Obviously in raw damage long-term they fall off compared to like House of Spiders, but they're still usable. They're not like Blade Lineage Merceau tier, but like they're still good in their niche. They're better and more usable than like Queen of Hatred Dawn or Encorp Yisong or Hornet Merceau even. Like they're just still good. So low A is probably the choice here. There is no T-Corp Honglu. There is Euro Divi Honglu, but there is no T-Corp Honglu. And the reason why the ego is irrelevant is because there are better carriers of the ego. So, Lord Honglu has a better speed range for the ego. The only difference is he doesn't have Sloth to fuel it. That's the only thing. But other than that, Lord Honglu is a better ego carrier in every single metric. So, I won't give him extra rating points just for that. High A with Heathcliff, but without Heathcliff low A. I think that him and Heathcliff are still good, but they're not that good. Like, they're better than B tier in the sense that they're like still like strong overall. And they're still very present for like Pierce comps, like with full stops and stuff. But they're not like super meta, so they can't be high A or low S. They just can't be. They're like usable, they're less usable in a team sense than like the Maus or like Manager Dawn or like Capo Merceau, but they're better like as standalone damage units than most of B tier. So low A, high B is like my position for them. Reindeer Honglu, C tier. Lord Honglu, SS. This guy's like, if she's Epstein, she's Diddy. He's like Dr. Disrespect. This guy's like EDP. This guy's like the colonizer, basically. His retreat mechanics like push the skill ceiling really high, and there's like a lot of different strategies on a lot of different teams you can do with him, as well as just him being strong standalone, because the extra S3s he forces out of like Faust and Ryoshu and all the others can do a lot of extra damage that are basically like added to his kit in terms of value. So I think like this is a good position to put him. In fact, maybe I'll even put him here. Just because he's like so omnipresent. Like you can use this guy in like sinking, like burn, like rupture. Like you can use him in hella stuff. And he's just very useful because he has everything. He has speed range. He has resources. He like from the extra like S3 attack. He has potential to become a strong damage unit with Battle Ready, which was a strat in RR5. He has Tears of the Tarnished Blood. He like super synergizes with Malfaust. Like he just does a lot of stuff. Yeah, he's just Imperialist Britain. So like he's Britain. This person Rian Song is like America with the nukes and stuff. Faust is like Hitler, and she is like Hirohito because Japanese or something. I don't know. Okay, so the reason why he's SS is because I feel like the value he brings is like slightly greater than him. So this guy's like a really strong unit, and he can be a hard carry in a lot of situations. But this guy's a hard carry in even more situations, and I think that will change in the future. But for now, they're like similar tier. And I feel like Honglu just has like a really, really high skill ceiling. Like there's just so much stuff you can do with him that like he just enables so many different strategies. He's definitely SS. Because SS is like the super hard carry units. Ring Honglu, most overrated nurse father. I think this guy's genuinely like bottom S. He is definitely not SS. Like he's worse than his own apprentice, I think. And this is gonna be a hot take, but like outside of closing time, like she just has a better kit than him. He has a bit more damage, but Faust has more utility than him. She has Iron Maiden, which is basically like mini Sanguine Desire. The only thing he has over her, base kit wise, is closing time and assist attacks for resources. That's all he does. Definitely the worst nurse father, definitely like not even like SS tier. He's like bottom S. The reason why he's bottom S is just because he still like does have the strongest AoE skill in the game. He still is a top unit in Bleed. It's just that Bleed is just a very whatever team right now, so he can't be SS. And also, just like the value he brings to his team is worse than what the other nurse fathers do. Yeah, it being once per encounter is so sad. Because when you actually do the math on closing time damage, it's like 300, 400, I think like 400 single target at max conditionals. And then with AoE, it's like 1,000, but that's it. Like once you use that, it's just over. Like after that, he basically just becomes like a better manager Don. And meanwhile, like the other nurse fathers, like Otis and Yi Song, like they could just keep using their S3 over and over again, and they get stronger each time they get stronger the more you use them. But this guy, he just uses closing time, and then he just becomes like a regular like blood fiend. But he's still S just because he's like a top unit on Bleed. Like it's still like a good team. It's not super good, but it's still good. And he kind of carries the raw damage, so he's like low S. Slave Catcher, he's like B tier. He's like decent potency, decent damage, synergizes with Merceau. Like he's just good. Not like A tier or S tier, not like meta, but he's just good. In fact, I think he's probably like around here. Or maybe he's like, yeah, he's like Liu Yisong level, like around there. He's not as ass as I think you underrate Manager Dawn. Like, the historical revisionism around Manager Dawn is crazy. People act like she's some sort of, like, super weak unit, but they forget that she was basically, like, Prime Wild Hunt except Bleed. Like, she's still good, and she's still decent. She just doesn't really have support. She Heathcliff. Dog shit. Encorp Heathcliff. He has the... Encorp Heathcliff is, like, up here, because he has the, plus coin drop for, Sanguine Clashing. And he's, like, the best out of the Encorp guys, so he's... Besides, Sinclair and, Faust. He's up there. Otis should get... No, she does not get her own tier, bro. Like, she is, like, the third place medal guy. You know this meme? You know this meme? This is just middle Otis, bro. Like, oh my god, look, I'm the best. I have the highest fucking DPR or whatever. I'm the best on the middle team. And then you actually look at the middle team and she's required to use it, but she's just like, okay. Like, she's a good unit in the grand scheme of the meta as a whole, but she's just good. She does not single-handedly carry NV-Res to be a top team like Ryoshu does, and so that's why she's just like SS and doesn't deserve her own tier, honestly. Next we have this guy, he's like bottom C. He's like similar as Fang Hunt. Like, it's just like generally good usage on like Rupture application, but like there's better alternatives. They're just like slightly below average overall. I don't think Heathcliff carries the middle. He like carries it like support wise, but in terms of damage, it's Otis. W Corp Merceau, it's because he has like a shit ton of useful debuffs. Like, he has good speed range, slash fragility, hella defense level down. Like, he's actually useful for something. It's not a very like useful niche, but he's still okay at it. It's better than like F tier. F tier has like completely dog shit useless units. In fact, I think I can put like something like this probably. Yeah, I think this is somewhat accurate-ish. Multi-crack Heathcliff, is just more of the same. Like, he's just a regular-ass, like, unit. He's just whatever. R-Corp Heathcliff. This is an interesting one. Top of B. Better than Ring Sang. I am putting this guy above Ring Sang. Everybody's gonna hate me for this. But once you... Yeah, instead of just yapping about, yeah, no, I looked for 2 seconds, this list sucks. Can you actually tell me what I, as a world record player with like 3k hours, and am doing wrong, instead of just yapping about, oh, this list is ass, everything is ass, I'm gonna click away. Like, just tell me what I'm wrong on. Yeah, so R-Corp Heathcliff definitely above Ring Sang. R-Corp Heathcliff is just the underrated GOAT. Like, pretty much dominated the game for like 2 whole ass years. It's for fragile. Dominated the game for 2 whole years. Still is very usable in story low turning, RR1 low turning, like pretty much any low turning really outside of like RR2. Like, he's just still like really, really good. And I think he genuinely has more use cases than Ring Sang, who is just like on hit, inflict some count at like a whatever % gambling chance. Doing wrong is continuing to make like 8. I'm not even on there. I'm looking at my own chat. It's in my own chat. Sun Shower F tier. I don't even know what to say about this. Actually, I think he's like bottom of D. Damage is still like okay. For a dog shit ID, he has okay damage, so he's in D tier. Pequod, Heathcliff, like bottom of C. Ophi, Heathcliff, I don't fucking know, bro. This ID is so ass, bro. What does he even do? He's like W Court Merceau tier. He's like around there. Wild Hunt, like low A. Like around Manager Dawn level is fair, I'd say. Maybe even slightly above her just because he's better standalone now, whereas Manager Dawn requires her Blood Fiends to be decent. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna check PMCH and see what they do. But I'm worried that, like, if I accidentally open, yeah, I'm gonna accidentally open something, and I don't want to accidentally open it. Full Stop Heathcliff, like, similar as, Honglu. Like, he's just, like, low A. Still great for their, niche and damage, but not, like, super top tier. The reason why EuroDV Ryoshu isn't a better Tremor unit than Ophi is because of her. Like, there is no reason to use her over her besides support passive. In fact, I'm gonna put her on the bench. Just because her support passive's still okay for, like, Spice Bush in some really niche scenarios. So yeah, she's just bench. Bro, why wouldn't he be that low? He got power crept out of his own team. His conditionals are almost unachievable, and even when he does reach them, he's like average or below by today's standards. And the team he is supposed to play on is just a very whatever team anyways. Like, we are deadass glazing C-tier Envy-Res units for doing absolutely nothing that the other better Envy-Res units can't do way better than they can. Like, why would Pequod Heathcliff be good, bro? He is power crept in literally everything, even when you assume his, like, stupid max conditionals. In fact, the only thing good about him is his support passive. I might even put him in bench tier. But he's still better than, like, I don't know. Somewhere around here, probably. Or, like, here, maybe. Yeah, he's She-Faust tier. That's fair, I think. No, but Multi-Crack Heathcliff isn't that good either. Like, what does he do? He gives a bit more charge count on hit, except why the hell would you run a charge team? That is so stupid. If you want to run raw damage, you run House of Spiders, Rupture, Full Stops, Index, that kind of shit. There is absolutely no reason to run a full charge team, and I'm tired of this stupid-ass community pretending that there is, bro. Oh my god. He's not a good unit. He's like bottom C tier. He does absolutely nothing besides give a bit more charge to Queen of Hatred Dawn, and even then, she's like B tier at highest. She's not like a top unit like they are. So if you want to run raw Envy damage, you run Envy Res, you don't run Multi-Crack Heathcliff. That's why he's on the same tier as like 7 Heathcliff and Fang Hunt Honglu. Like, they are decent at a niche, but their niche is ass, hence why they're low C tier. Anyways, that is all. Actually, I think I'm gonna put him like here. He's okay-ish. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Kurokumo Heathcliff. S tier. In fact, he's a better bleed unit than them. Although his damage is kind of whatever, so I'll put him here. Now, the reason why he is an S tier is because he basically, him alone, in just one turn, has basically the potency infliction of these two combined. Like, this guy basically single-handedly carries the bleed stack on his shoulders. Like, without him, you basically have half the potency that you do. How much are you weighting It's like somewhat. So historical relevance is like somewhat of a factor. It's very slight. Like, you have to consider that each season's content is balanced around the current IDs. So, for example, Wild Hunt. Wild Hunt's a perfect example. This guy, like, genuinely is up to par with, like, modern damage numbers, but only with AoE and only after you kill a minion as soon as possible. Because without Coffin, he's just very whatever. However, in the content that you use him in, he is really, really good. It's just the sad fact that they just don't do that kind of content anymore. Everything's either like single target boss rushes or like single target flat out. Like they don't really do like encounters with like ads and stuff anymore. So Wild Hunt isn't as good as he was before. But I mean, he's definitely still strong. And the reason he gets A and not B is just because in the historical content he was made for, he's really, really good, and he would still be really, really good if it came back as a bot gack or whatever in nowadays. Oh yeah, single. Okay, yeah, that's true. Like he gets buffed by Ishmael, but he does more than Ishmael does. And I think they're both deserving of like the same spot on S tier. W Corp Heathcliff, he's genuinely worse than W Corp Ryoshu. Like he's basically just slightly more powerful W Corp Ryoshu, except to get the S3, you basically need to AFK turns and just do nothing, where she has like a super powerful S2. So yeah, he's like there. Or maybe even, yeah, he's here. He's straight up just worse than Euro DV, because Euro DV still has like the long-term tremor niche. Chicken Heathcliff, bro, I don't know. I'm tempted to put him in A, but like, yeah, I think A's good. He's like similar situation as LCE Faust. I think he's better than yeah, he's around there. Kind of worse than She Faust? No, I don't think so. Cause She Faust doesn't really like have a ceiling past her initial S3. W Corp Heathcliff can like scale like decent-ish. The problem is his scaling sucks and the payoff is just not worth it, so he's just C tier. But he's better than She Faust. Like She Faust is just complete like ass at the same sort of thing. You know, I think I might just put this guy like around here. Or maybe like, you know, chat, can you help me place Chicken Heathcliff? Because on the one hand, I think he has like better scaling than Dayu Ryoshu and Mao Ryoshu, but on the other hand, he's like a worse rupture unit. He's worse rupture, but better long-term damage, and I don't really know what to do with him. Should I put him on like Index Dawn tier, or should I like move him below Wild Hunt? Like, what should I do? One HP, bro. 1 HP survival is like, when are you using this besides MD solo? I don't know when that sort of 1 HP passive would come into play besides MD. Yeah, so like Wild Hunt, Index Dawn tier. I think that's pretty fine. I just know he's A tier for sure. Middle Heathcliff, A tier. Okay, what do I do for him? Because on the one hand, he is very good support for his team, but on the second end, that's all he really does. Like, once the middle team isn't that good, he isn't that good either. Like, in a lot of content, the middle team is like a C tier team. So, I don't really know what to do here. Bro, he just can't be better than T-Corp Dawn. Like, no matter what, even at like his maximum potential, it will not even come close to T-Corp Dawn maximum potential. And especially because Tremor keeps getting stronger and stronger, and Sloth weakness is starting to like come back into the meta, I think T-Corp Dawn will just like keep getting better and better. Same with the other Moratorium ID. Yeah, the other Moratorium bots. One of the most overrated units? Yeah, I do agree. People say this guy's like S tier because he carries a bunch of bums. Like, this is like if I was like a kindergarten teacher. This is if I was a kindergarten teacher comparing myself to college professors. That is middle Heathcliff. Like, oh my god, bro, middle's so strong, bro, 1000 DPR, bro, and then you look inside and it has 0 fucking world records ever. Its best feat is in its own reflect trial, where they needed hella extra resources, hella extra damage, and an entire new attack pattern just to barely be better than brute forcing with House of Spiders, which is just crazy. Like, this ID is not anywhere close to S tier. He is like low A at best. I would put him above Wild Hunt. Yeah, he's like, I don't know, I'm thinking like Manager Dawn tier, bro. Like, genuinely. Like, around here. Worse than the Rupture guys, but better than like Wild Hunt in current meta. Thumb Heathcliff. I have a confession to make. I have never used Thumb Heathcliff outside of killing him. Ever. Somebody tell me what this guy does. Like, actually, like, give me a rundown of Thumb Heathcliff's kit, because I have only ever used him to kill him for Ryoshu. And also for Shin on Rodion. How much do you value him getting Envy Res to a usable state? You know, like, there's 3 criteria. So, like, there's individual strength, there is team value, and he has a lot of team value. And the third criteria is, like, team strength in the context of that value. So, is he the reason why middle is a decent team, or is it just because Otis is doing, like, 600 damage a turn? Like, what is the real reason? Because even with Heathcliff being there, Envy Res was still a meme team. Like, it was just barely better than, like, the worst state that Tremor was in. And middle Glazers and, like, fucking PMCH and whatever other server full of mouth-breathing morons will hate me for this. But, like, name one feat that Envy Res has. Name a single feat that Envy Res has ever achieved outside of the Reflect Trial designed to make them OP. Where are any Envy Res feats? Fucking double the turn count of House of Spiders on every single railway ever. Both are raw damage teams, except middle does it much worse. Both of them are like all your eggs in one basket teams. But middle requires hella shilling just to be good, which is crazy. Meat shield, take damage. Yeah, I just use him as a sack pretty much. You know what? Let's read his kit. I have not even read this guy's kit. I have genuinely just killed him every single time. Okay, so, I know he has the S1 assist attack, which was pretty good for generating lust on RR2. He has... Okay. All I know is that his S3, and this comes from, like, Twitter ball knowledge. All I know is that his S3 does roughly the same amount of raw damage as Capo Merceau S3, both at full conditionals. But, like, I'm looking at the kit, and it's just, like, Capo just has way better, like, longevity in, like, wave battles, because he's not bricked to being, like, on one single target every time, because Dual Escalates expires every time the wave changes. Like, yeah, his skill 3, this shit is never happening unless you specifically goon for it. Like, when have you ever... I have never seen this shit come out, ever. So, I think for that reason, I am putting him in B tier. He is, like... I don't know, is he better than... Is he better than N-Corp? I mean, probably. Yeah, B tier is pretty fair. Yeah, he's just like a weaker Capo Merceau. Like, that's all he really does. LCCB Ishmael. A tier. Bottom of A tier. Or actually, maybe I'll put her in B. And you're gonna say, oh my god, a freaking low turner putting LCCB Ishmael in B instead of A. And I think that it is valid, because she serves pretty much the same niche as Rabbit Heathcliff. Except she does it better than him. Except she has a lower speed range, which makes her more inconvenient, but she still has a higher ceiling than him. Because not only does she have the crazy tremor support, but she also has like the cavernous wailing, bursting, and the 5 fragile instead of 4, and like the hella infliction. So she's basically better than Rabbit Heathcliff at like the same thing, despite her being more inconvenient. So yeah, she's like top of B. Because like she's kind of dog shit outside of being basically the same thing as Arcliff. She Ishmael, Speed Order Merchant. It's like D tier. You know what, I think I'm gonna put them like around there. I think that's good. Maid Ishmael, D tier. Does absolutely fucking nothing, bro. What does this ID even do? She's better than like them at least, though. Sloshing Ishmael, F tier. What the hell does this ID even do, bro? She might genuinely be one of the worst in the game. Actively griefs both your rupture and your tremor. Reindeer Ishmael, like bottom of C tier. Maybe even high D. Like maybe she's like top of D tier. Yeah, you know what? That's probably good. Cause like she has high rolls and nothing else. Like her damage isn't even that good. Like maxed out as 3, that's like even with 2 attack power up from the passive, that's like that's like very whatever. D tier. Molar Ishmael, B tier. Like similar as LCCB, like she's just an infliction bot, like she's just count positive sinking. She's like low B tier. You know what? I think I'm gonna put Hornet and Corp like that, yeah. Oh, actually, Reindeer Ishmael. Yeah, you're right. She has hella good support passive for some units. Like she has great support passive for like Wild Hunt and I don't know, and Claire and whatever else. Lou Ishmael, C tier. She's basically like the same as these guys. Like just does nothing except inflict a bit of burn. Captain Ishmael, C tier. Okay, funny thing about Captain Ishmael is like I was one of her diehard glazers as a new player. Cause I thought that she was like super niche but underrated. But nowadays everybody has assist attacks and the damage on those assist attack units has just gone through the roof completely. So she's just very like power crept in that way. I think she's like multi-crack Heathcliff tier. Probably better than them though. Yeah, so she's around like Pequod Heathcliff level, but she's probably better. You know what? I think I'll put her like around here or here. Yeah, this is good. And I do think she's better than Lou Ishmael on burn. So yeah, around that tier. Like mid C. Pretty good for her. 50-50 chance Captain Ishmael might get an upscale next season. Yeah. I think this is definitely true. Like, next season we're gonna be meeting N-Corp, and she might get like a gas harpoon upscale, or she might just get like a new ego or just like a N-Corp allies to upscale her. Like there's just various things they can do to upscale her, like they did to what's his name? Donclair, yeah. Okay, Zwei Ishmael, like tank slop, clash slop, just very standard. Like just like whatever. In fact, I think okay, she's better than yeah. Around there's pretty good. Yeah. So I'm putting Ishmael here, not because she has like the potential potency of infliction of Heathcliff, but because she directly enables bleed potency stacking via her passive. So she's definitely like around S. Would be hella funny if they try to bring Butler Shoe back. Yeah, that would be interesting. Like if they did like a Thoracalgia up tie 5 and did it like N-Corp Ego Thoracalgia and then made her freaking like an actual decent unit, that would be pretty hilarious actually. Okay, hot take. I don't think that family hierarch candidate Ishmael is necessarily bad. For her release time, she wasn't even bad. I remember, like, she was genuinely usable for low turning in, like, RR5 and, like, various other Rupture stuff, just because she had hella procs, she has AoE, she has good sins, and also she, like, synergizes with, like, Lord Honglu, because, like, she can substitute in and then retreat and, like, do various stuff with those shenanigans, so she's, like, bottom B, in my opinion. But she's not C. A lot of people call her C tier. I think she's okay. John Ishmael, definitely S. In fact, I think she's like near the top of S. Like, I think she's better than Spicebush. John Ishmael is an unsung hero. Yeah, RR5 fixed poise units, yeah, part of that. Part of it is that. But at the same time, you do not get the nebulizer buff until you move on to section 2. So even in section 1, she was still good. Mostly because of like resources and extra attacks and like retreat shenanigans and stuff. But I genuinely think John Ishmael is one of the best damage units in the game. And I'll explain why. Firstly, we need to look at this. So, this ego is one of the best damage egos in the entire game. It's super cheap. This is literally Zayn cost, okay? And look at this shit. So, 100% damage, 2 coin power, and like all of these dynamics on a single target. However, the trick is that if it's like multiple part, it still counts as a single target. So this shit is hella good for so many abnormalities in Railway. And additionally, if we look at Jong Ishmael, she gets direct buffs from using Ego. So you can see that when she equips Gloom or Ego skill, she gains Bright Potency, and she gains additional Bright Potency if it's an Ego or an S3, meaning that with Gloom Hand plus Tidal Elegy, you can basically just completely spam Kozon like every other turn, like every 3 turns past that. It's crazy. And Kozon's actually like pretty strong. Like it's for a follow-up attack, it's quite strong. It's like close to 200 damage, I think. And it's also sinking count neutral positive with echoes. Like there's just so much stuff you can do with Jong Ishmael. She's good on like burn too, because she has Capote, which is also an ego that activates her passive. And she can fit into pretty much any team just because of this sort of versatility, as long as you have enough Gloom to generate Tidal Elegy. INB4 people downplay Tidal Elegy to hell and back because it's a collab ego. Yeah, like this is PMCH level takes. Like, bro, nobody gives a fuck that like you're just some random ass guy who has like 100 hours on the game and just like spams middle for everything. Like, this list is made by somebody who has everything and who does like low turning and who does like basically everything for like thousands of hours. So they're gonna downplay Tidal Elegy, obviously. They're not gonna like realize the value of IDs like Jong Ishmael. They're gonna color mid just because they don't have Tidal Elegy. But like the reality is that at her ceiling in top play, she is just one of the best damage generalists in the game. So versatile, yeah. Fits on pretty much every team. Like the only time I don't use her is like bleed and freaking like sometimes like rupture or whatever. And even then, she's like mildly usable. Not like super top, but usable. And then oh shit. Okay, hold on. Okay, middle Ishmael, like A tier. like low A tier. Just like the second best raw DPS on the middle team. People would call her S tier because of like DPR and whatever, but middle's mid. Let's be real. It's like fifth best team in the game. She's good on the fifth best team in the game. That's all there is to her. She's like in like use cases for middle. She's like full stop level, maybe around like here. I don't know. She's like low. She's like manager Dawn tier. I think that's pretty fair. Actually, I think I'm gonna move W Corp Sang down. Yeah, I'll move him down to like ring tier. Yeah, so this Ishmael, same case as full stops, just like a poise damage bot. Quite good at being a poise damage bot. Synergizes with BL Merceau. Has less use cases though, because like you can use BL Merceau as like a solitary unit on like House of Spiders and whatever. And also he has like a higher ceiling. But Ishmael is also really, really strong. Like she genuinely might be like around here. I think she's worse than Capo and worse than BL Merceau, but she's still good than like she's still better than like these units, right? I don't know. Maybe she's like index Dawn tier. Who knows? Yeah. Alternative universe index Dawn is what I'm thinking. Dog shit. Probably better than Base Gregor, actually. Dog shit. Probably like... You know what? Actually, I'm gonna move Hook Hong Lu up, because he has like decent bleed count. He's like okay-ish. Dog shit. In fact, she's like one of the worst IDs in the game. Another Moratorium bot. So like, same tier as them. What else? Kurokuma Rodion. Theoretically decent, like if she somehow manages to get poise support, but other than that, like currently she's just whatever. It's like D tier warrior. Rose Banner Rodion, like super, like she's like the same group as these three, like usable on status, but like not super optimal. They're just average. Also like C tier. Like blah blah blah, tanking, clashing, whatever. Like she's just mid now. You get nothing out of her that you wouldn't get out of like KOD Rodion. Or like Thumb Rodion or whatever else. She's just mid. She's like around here, probably. Lou Rodion, same shit, just like a very mid-ish status unit, like okay damage. Thumb is just better in literally everything imaginable. She's like, I don't know. She's like high C. It's like better than the Sync. I don't know. Yeah, this is probably good. Deviat Rodion, like just the same shit basically. Like just very generally power crept, usable but power crept units. They're just regular like standard fare stuff. I think she's like better than Lu though, just cause like she's not completely mogged by a better option. Like C branch still has its drawbacks, so I think she's like top of C maybe. Yeah, like around there. Princess Rodion, just the same shit as Prince. Just very whatever units relying on a faction. Now, the thing is, like, these two would be, like, decent theoretically. It's just the problem is they rely so much on, like, having other Blood Fiends, except other Blood Fiends are just very mid. Like, it's just Manager Dawn and those two, and the rest are dog shit. And that is, like, the main drawback. Like, they need some kind of upscale, or else they're just gonna be completely, like, just decent and nothing better than that. 15-3 era, good times, yeah. 15-3 is good. Like, it's still good, but it's just not needed. And now it's just a drawback at this point, because we actually have, like, count support. Okay, I do think that, Deviat Sinclair is notably worse than, Deviat Rodion. Just because his 15-3 conditional is just completely ass, and he doesn't even do, like, more damage or anything. Like, he's just a worse version of her. Except blunt, for some reason. C Rodion, B tier warrior. She's like just like a standard poise jobber, Heisho jobber with like decent like rupture, decent-ish rupture potency and procs and stuff. Like she was decent in RR5, but that's only because rupture was good in RR5, and now that rupture's not like the meta damage team anymore. She's just very whatever. Just so she's like probably better than these, honestly, or not, around there. KOD Rodion, SS, pretty obvious pick. Like, she just pretty much carries the entire sinking stack. Not just that, but she is also, like, good damage. Just really good damage generalist. Good damage on sinking, like, very versatile unit on various sinking comps and various other comps. Like, in RR2, I was using her with, House of Spiders Ryoshu, and she was actually, like, a decent pick. Not just that, but she's kind of the glue that holds a lot of like Solemn Lament and Spicebush strategies together. Like those would just not work as well without KOD Rodion. And while Spicebush and Solemn Lament are pigeonholed to the team with KOD Rodion, she can just like pop off independently. So I think she's SS. But like at the very bottom of it. So like she's not the top of SS, like she's not like Malfaust or anything, but she's like getting close-ish. Reindeer Rodion, dog shit, pretty much just like the same as these, but worse. It's like around there. Ring Rodion is like A tier. It's just like decent-ish damage. Yeah, decent damage, good application, carry Sanguine Desire, like she's pretty much just a better version of Princess Rodion that's like more up to date with like current strategies and stuff. So she's probably like, I don't know, around their tier. Yeah, that's pretty good. Or maybe like above them. I don't know. Yeah, something like this. This is good, I think. Or maybe, yeah. Oh yeah, touchy, hardy, whatever it's called. Yeah, that's nice. Would House of Spiders long have overtaken RR5 Section 3 if it was still around? Yeah, probably. Like, there are various strategies to do, rupture turn counts with bleed on RR6 with House of Spiders Ryoshu if it was, like, fully powered. Except, it's just not fully powered at the moment. Or, like, it wasn't fully powered when it released, and nobody, like, really thought that it was, nobody really thought of using any, like, sort of bleed strategies on, R5 Section 3 anymore, but I guarantee you that something would have come out. That would have been more convenient than Rupture for the same turn count. Thumb Rodion, SS tier. I think she's like around Index E Song tier. They're pretty much the only two Nurse Fathers that you typically want to keep alive on a House of Spiders. Rodion is for like specific strategies, and Yi Song is for specific strategies, particularly in like longer content. But Rodion like synergizes super well with Scorch. She basically like feeds into like the whole wrath damage archetype. She's like really good on like tremor and everything. She just has a lot of use cases and is one of the like main units on one of the best teams aside from Ryoshu. So I think she's like slightly better than Night of Despair just because she's like better as an independent damager on said team. But like it seriously depends on the strategy. But like they're around equal. She does make Bleed hurt more. Yeah, that is true. However, even with all of that, Bleed still kind of struggles. And this is mostly due to everything moving into, like, wave battles, and Deadass would have moved BL Merceau to low S. No, I don't think so. Because remember, all of these guys from, like, the GOAT to S tier, they're all, like, either super, super, super strong independently to the point where, like, they define a meta team, or they create their own team and carry it. Like, I just don't see anywhere where Blade Lineage Merceau is, like, actually carrying. He's, like, a really good, like, general damage unit, but he's not a hard carry like these. So that is why he doesn't get into the true top tier. Is why Sinclair, F tier, dog shit. Mariachi goes on bench, because his support passive is just 10% free damage. Talisman, hella bench. Everybody knows about that. Molar Sinclair, also bench. Sinclair has hella good benches. Like, Mariachi is like 10% damage. Talisman is just free extra rupture for Malfaust. Sinclair is like extra tremor. That's uncapped. So, like, the ID with the highest HP will inflict more tremor and will keep inflicting more and more tremor. Like, his passive is not capped. It's just a flat bonus. So that's really good. Zwei Sinclair, also pretty dog shit. Pretty much just useless tank slop. I'm moving him below the speed order merchants. Blade Lineage Sinclair. I think he's okay now. However, it is because of interesting reasons that I would put him above these three. So, not only does he have the, like, Blade Lineage, like, upscale buffs, but he also has this really interesting ability. Hold on, let me show you. Yeah, so he also has this. For 2 Pride Res, the last coin on the skills is 20% damage, and it also gives poise count to allies, which is really good. Because there are various strategies that involve Pride skills, and notice that Blade Lineage Sinclair speed range is 2 to 5, so you can, like, use, like, an ego, like, Harmony or whatever, and get hella damage on it from the 20%. And also, he has a really good support passive as well, so I think he is genuinely, like, top of C tier. He's the true C tier demon. Talisman passive's still good. Yeah, I mean, it's just flat rupture infliction. Like, it's just like the Molar Sinclair tremor. It's completely uncapped, meaning the ID with the highest health just keeps inflicting more and more rupture on every instance, which is really good. Yeah, he is also a speed merchant, but he is also, like, a good standalone unit. Like, if you think about it, Mariachi's just like a dogshit standalone. And in most cases, you would rather bench him. But Blade Lineage Sinclair with the upscales is actually kind of okay. Ancorp Sinclair, like, mid-C tier, super overrated. People glaze the shit out of this ID. It's very whatever. It's like here, probably. Mid-C tier. Because, like, people will glaze, like, the, negative coins, high rolls, turn 1 damage, whatever. But, like, when you actually look at his kit, like, the damage is very whatever. Because he has almost 0, like, multipliers or anything. So it's literally just him rolling 16 4 times, and that's all he does. For, like, 80-something damage. Or, like, S3 for, like, 100. Which is, like, very subpar nowadays. So he's just, like, mid. Sync Sinclair, sort of the same boat, but I think he's better than Enclair just because he has certain niches. Like, he's super fast, like, with his conditionals, and additionally, he has 3 Fragile on S3, so, like, similar, like, damage once ramped up, it's just that Sync Sinclair has, like, more uses, so he's better than Enclair. In fact, I think he's, like, around the other Syncs in terms of power level. Though I think I might move the charge units up. The charge units are actually, like, okay. It's just that they're more inconvenient compared to the Sync. Yeah, this is good. Bro, up type 5 suit. What does this even do? All it does is make him lose a bit more SP. That's all it does, bro. Like, he already loses SP extremely easily, and in fact, it's to the point where on some turns, you just let him corrode, just because he loses so much SP. Like, -4 SP, that does fucking nothing, bro. Doesn't... Like, the soup up tie is the most glazed thing ever. It's the same shit as it did before, just more conveniently. And it wasn't even that good to begin with. It's just okay, like, it's nothing amazing. People are glazing it as, like, one of the best egos in the game. No, it's not. Soup is, like, C tier, bro. Technically do see use being fielded in the support tier. Yeah, so the thing about Mariachi is, like, you field him in 10% of cases, and 90% he's benched. The only time you use Mariachi is for, like, Harmony on RR6 Section 5. That's all. Other than that, he's just a support passive. Don Claire, like, top of A, for sure. Now, he's not an S because I do think he's, out of the House of Spiders in the Dawn office, he's the weakest, for sure. Will there be an ego list? Yeah, possibly. So I think Dawn office is the weakest of all the Dawns. And I think he's also the weakest on a House of Spiders team. And for that reason, he's an A tier. He doesn't have, like, the extra S3s or, like, the assist attacks or anything. He's just, like, a solid damage merchant with good potency. Nothing that carries a team. Yeah. So he's, like, he's, like, above, yeah. I think this is a good placement. Deviat Sinclair is just much worse Deviat Rodion. He's, like here, along with other Rupture Sloppers. It's, like... I think he's better than the charge units, though. Or maybe... Yeah, he's around their tier. Middle Sinclair, basically just a worse middle Ishmael, bottom of... Actually, I think he's, like, top of B. The reason being is he has much less damage than middle Ishmael, and he's much more inconvenient. So he's basically just the worst version of her, and he's, like, the second or third worst unit on his 7-man team. So he's just whatever. Do I put him above LCCB, though? Nah. I think Arcliff and LCCB have more use cases. The assist attacks he triggers definitely play... No, I don't think so. Because his damage is actually really solid. The assist attacks are, like, maybe, like, an extra 100 at most. After Blazing Strike does, like, 500. He also has so many egos. Yeah, the reason he's not S is because he can't carry. In no situation does he carry. He's like the best option, but if, like, something better than Dawn Office releases, he's the first to get kicked out. Like, in a lot of situations on House of Spiders, you don't even run him, and you run the other two Dawns without him. Thumb Sinclair, B tier. I don't think this ID is that bad. It's just, like, free 3 bursts, super easy turn 1 damage on Tremor. I think he's slightly worse than these guys. Probably better than Liu Yisang, though. Helping the other Dawns ramp up. Yeah, that is true. But their ramp up is already super fast without him on their given team. Yeah, that's what I mean. So he's just solid, but he's not, like, Mao Faust levels of crazy. Like, he's not, like, Nurse Father tier, is what I'm saying. Chicken Sinclair, also just, like, a low B tier. Like, super low B tier. The reason why he's B tier is because he has some, like, niche strategies. Like, you can use, like, Heisho swapping with him and, like, RR1, and also you can use him on Burn for, like, that strategy to stack potency really quickly. So he's, like, low B. I think he's better than, he's better and has more use cases than, Shichin Ishmael. Renclair, bottom of A. He's pretty much just a longer but more rewarding full stop. Like, pretty high damage ceiling, but essentially he's just, like, a regular-ass slash damage bot with similar damage as the others. So he's not, like, anything like Nurse Father tier. Or, like, even as good as Don Sinclair. So he's, like, bottom of A. one half say he's bad, the other half say he's super good. Well, the difference is casuals versus, like, low turners, because honestly, like, 3 tremor bursts plus ammo support plus all the damage he can get on basically turn 1, like, it's all pretty good stuff for tremor. It's just that a lot of people, like, don't really care about, like, turn 1 everlasting tremor slopping, but he's not a bad ID whatsoever. I think he has, like, similar amount of use cases as, like, the Blood Fiends or, like, C. Rodion or, like, Slave Hunter Honglu or whatever. He's, like, around their level. G Corp Otis, F tier. It's, like, around here. Blade Lineage Otis, the bench. This support passive is crazy. Let me show you. This is plus 30% damage to enemies below 25% HP. So any, like, broken part or anything, like, that's just plus 30% damage. That's crazy. I think this is one of the best damage support passives in the game. Sync Otis, D tier. Stupid, overrated 0-0 that does nothing except evade and tank, and all the morons on YouTube shorts will think this ID is good when she really just is not. She's like one of the worst of the D tier, in my opinion. Secret 0-0 and all she does is press defense. It's useless. She doesn't even have, like, an amazing speed order, come to think of it. Ring Otis, also hella overrated. Just like a worse but more consistent Ring Sang, but, like, with much less damage. Just very, very mid, like bottom of C tier. Like, she's, like, on the level of, like, Fang Hunt and 7 Heathcliff. Now we have... Oh, she's a passive for sure. Because if you go to... I don't know why, but so many Otis IDs have really good damage passives. 10% damage, weak or fatal. Like, this is just free damage for Malfaust, basically. Fastest speed as well. Like, yeah, this is just free damage on Rupture. Molar Otis B tier. Just another burst bot, pretty much. Yeah, like around Thumbclair tier, I'd say. Actually, I think I'm gonna move Liu Yisong up just a bit, just because he has, like, the SP healing and better damage than these two. So, I don't know. I think he's pretty good. Magic Bullet Otis, I think she is, like... Now, this idea is weird. Because with her ego, she's either, like, A tier or C tier, and I don't know where to put her. Because on the one hand, if you want to play Burn, you have House of Spiders, which outmatches her damage. But on the other hand, she has this really, really good niche of, like, in content where House of Spiders Ryoshu can't ramp, she is, like, the best Burn unit. And she pretty much single-handedly carries the damage. As long as she, like, can get enough ego usages. So... Oh, and she's also a good Pride bot, so I'd say she's, like, top of B tier. Butler Otis. Yeah, she's pretty much the same as Butler Faust, but just slightly better. Putting her on there. You know what? I think I'm gonna move the Butlers up. Like that. Top of B tier. Niche, not amazing, but good in their niche. W Corp Otis, just dog shit. Bottom of C tier. Barber Otis, very whatever bleed unit. Has some synergy with the Blood Fiends, but she's like the second worst out of them. She's probably better than Deviat Rodion though, so around there. Mao Otis, yeah, pretty much just the same shit as Mao Ryoshu, just, like, slightly worse. Yeah, she's just a weaker version of Mao Ryoshu, pretty much, so it's just fair to put her around there. T Corp Otis, Moratorium bot, she's, like, right there. worst between all the Blood Fiends? Hell no, bro. Priest sucks. Priest does absolutely nothing beside feed a little bit to Manager Dawn. He has, like, worse damage. Like, worse everything. The only thing he has going for him is that he gives Manager Dawn a good enhanced S1. That's all he does. He's, like, completely dogshit outside of that. Uja Otis, I think, bottom of A. Or actually top of B. I don't know. I think she's, like, good damage, good support for sinking, both long-term, short-term. Yeah, I think she's, like, around there. Maybe even better than Manager Dawn. Or, like, around that tier. Because she's, like, a very simple ID. I don't really need to explain anything to her. Like, she works hella good on sinking comps because of Gloom Fragility and, like, Gloom Resist Down. And she's also, like, good as a damage unit because she basically does a Hey Show S3 on turn 2. And so Sinking Butterfly really likes that. So she's, like, A tier for sure. Middle Otis, she's, I think, the worst out of the SS tier. Or maybe she's, like, above... Yeah, I think she's above KOD. Just in raw power alone. Because her raw power sort of outweighs the fact that KOD plays on weaker teams. Stronger teams, I mean, sorry. I think the reason why she's not the top Nurse Father, even if she has, like, the most theoretical damage output, is just because she's, like, hard forced to play on one team, whereas the others are better. And also play on better teams. And also her ceiling is kind of her floor. Like, she's really good and really consistent, especially for new players, but after you use up all your ChatGPT generated S3s, she becomes noticeably weaker. Like, it still doesn't really solve the problem of middle being dogshit on stagger turns after you've used the S3s, which makes her, like, good, but not as good as the others, which are, like, much more opportune and can play on better teams. So, yeah, she's, like, around there. Or maybe she's even worse than KOD. I don't know. Lou Gregor, the bench. It's just, let me show you this. 30% damage with 4th and subsequent coins. Really good passive, in my opinion. Chef Gregor, probably the worst ID in the game, alongside Sloshmail, F tier. Rose Spanner, also F tier. Absolutely no usage besides being Charge, Rupture, Tremor, and MDE. And that team is, like, not even that good anymore, apparently, so F tier. Kurokumo Gregor, D tier. Like, he's better than, like, Rose Spanner and, like, She Heathcliff, but he's just not very good. So he's, like, better than Potential Man, but yeah, I'd say he's around, like here or something. Or I guess because he gets buffs from the other Kurokumo units, he's, like, up here or something, I don't know. G-Corp Gregor, the bench. Basically every solo player uses this guy on bench just because he's free HP healing on Clash Win, so this guy sees no use outside of being a support passive for solos. Zwei Gregor, D tier, just pure tank slop, does nothing else. I think he's, like, even worse than them. Pirate Gregor, also, like, bottom of C tier. Just extremely power creep damage, bad poise ramp. Like, he's just, like... He's kind of like a... He's kind of like Butler Ryoshu, but trade the AoE damage for some more damage on S3. That's pretty much it. I'm actually going to move her, like, here. Edgar Gregor. I think this ID is pretty good, actually. He's low B, but he's not C, and the reason is because he has this super niche interaction with Solemn Lament, where if you get the S3 on... Yeah, if you get S3 on a target with sinking, then you can get, like, plus coin boost damage up, which is hella good on his Solemn Lament ego, which uses 8 coins and also has no native dynamics, so it's plus 1 coin power on an 8 coin skill and plus 30% damage, and with this passive you can get this even higher because 2% damage for every sinking potency on target. This also applies to ego, so you can stack like 70% damage on Solemn Lament, which is really good. And not even like Lamp Gregor can do this. Like this guy's just like the optimal niche Solemn Lament carrier. So I'll put him around there. Yeah, like around Ncorp Yiseng tier. Priest Gregor, worst out of the Blood Fiends. He's like worse than Barber. Does nothing except bleed himself out and tank damage with aggro. That's all he does. His skills don't even like do that much damage compared to Barber. He's just very whatever. He's like, I don't know, like around here probably. Or maybe better than Zwei Ishmael. Fire Fist Gregor, I think he's like B. He actually had pretty good damage when he released, and he was a great support for Ryoshu for burn count, but then Dawn Office came out and just completely mogged him. So he kind of got crept out of his own niche. Like, he's still decent as like a burn potency and count bot, but burn is primarily like House of Spiders, so if Magic Bullet is in B tier, then he's in B tier too, if that makes any sense. But he's like high B tier. He's kind of like a W Corp Yiseng, but for burn. C Gregor, like just same shit as C Rodion, just decent poise rupture unit that sorta was like decent when Heishos were the primary source of raw damage, but nowadays he's just very power crept and is pretty much just a retreat bot. But he's still decent. Him. So I don't think this ID is like horrible. A lot of people call him horrible, but I do think he has like really weird design choices. Like for example, if we look at his kit, this skill does not generate ego resources on the team Tremor that needs the most ego resources. Why? Like, what is the point of this? I mean, he does have the conversion to hemorrhage, and he's a better hemorrhage converter than Ncorp Ryoshu. And the assist attacks are still like good for like confirming kills on sloth weak enemies, especially with this 120% damage. But like he's just kind of mid other than that, so he's like low B probably. Probably around like where did I even put him? Hold on. Yo, hold up. I forgot where I put this guy. Oh, I put him bottom of B. I think I'll move him above Ncorp Ryoshu by like slightly. He's like around. Yeah, he's kind of just like a burst conversion bot like Thumbclair. I think that's pretty fair. Lamp Gregor. I think Lamp Gregor's really good. I think that not only is his like speed range really, really good, but he's also just a good unit. Like, he has hella procs, he goes last guaranteed for Solemn Lament, so he can capitalize off of butterfly comps really well. He's like a decentish generalist because of his speed order, and the fact that you can like get burn on a target really easily, and he has burn conditional, so he fits with Ryoshu. I use this guy a lot, like in various comps. I think he's like low A tier, or like top of B. Because he has like a similar use case to Uja Otis, so I'm putting him around her tier. Or maybe I'll move Middle Ishmael up, probably. Yeah, I don't know. ADD Gregor, King of the Charge, Sloppers, like he's basically like Dimension Shredder Yisong, but with better damage, better charge ramp, true AoE instead of unfocused volley. Oh yeah, Lamp Gregor with the middle team. Yeah, that is true. He has like so many use cases. I might even put him above Ujat actually. I don't know. I think this is good though. Like similar tiers like Middle Ishmael. Like he's a blend between like a middle unit, sinking unit, House of Spiders, burn generalist. Like he just does a lot of stuff, and he's a speed order merchant. And yeah, so ADD Gregor, King of the Charge Sloppers. like a decent-ish unit, I'd say. He's the king of C tier because he's the best out of the, like, mid-tier charge units, and he's probably, like, theoretically stronger than, like, Blade Lineage, or maybe, like, roughly around their strength. Like, he's top of C tier, but he can't break out of it simply because they keep designing him around, like, old charge units. Like, they have the same charge potency ramp, but, like, more convenient. They have the same sort of ceiling of, like 200, 300 damage S3 and then nothing else. Like, he's just a victim of charge potency slopping design from, like, 3 seasons ago, which is crazy. And finally, we have Dawn Office Gregor, which is around Dawn Faust level. And he is slightly worse than Dawn Faust, just because even if he has, like, a stronger, like, nuke, theoretically, she just shits out more S3s, and that raises her damage slightly higher, I think. But they pretty much work in tandem with each other, and they work on a House of Spiders Ryoshu team. So, best team in the game, quite strong units on it, good in R2, R6, like, they're just good in so many places. So, yeah, definitely S tier. Okay, so the C tier demons, okay, so there's different tiers of C tier, okay? So there's C tier 1, which is like Blade Lineage, ADD Gregor, like Blood Fiends, like Deviat. Like, these are solid units, they just don't really have a use anymore, and are mostly just like damage on status teams, which have been power crept. Then the next tier, you have like the super like weird niche guys, which are like Chef Ryoshu, Lantern Dawn, 7 Ryoshu, just like weird ass units that serve like one particular niche, but that niche isn't like amazing. Like universally amazing, I mean. And then you have like just a bunch of charge sloppers, which is just like the most average mid-tier units imaginable. And like the sinks and like whatever else. And then at the bottom you have just like 0-0s, like the better side of 0-0s, but not good enough to be like B or above. So there's multiple tiers to C tier. There's like above average damage units that simply just got power crept. Super niche units that actually have a pretty useful niche. Just flat out average super mid-tier units. And then like bottom mid-tier units that just don't really do anything, but were like useful for something at some point. And that's like the general tiering of this. Of C tier, I mean. Can't wait for next season to power creep all of SS, S, and A. Well, it depends, because IDs like Mao Faust, Solemn Lament, Spice Bush, John Gishmael have already been good for like 2 seasons now, and Kurokuma Duo as well. So it highly depends on what Project Moon does and like what teams they decide to support. But like a lot of them, especially like the team carriers, definitely have like potential to outweigh power creep for at least a couple seasons. But yeah, tier list is finished, I think. I can probably make some adjustments, like, please note that this isn't, like, super fleshed out and final, but this is just, like, the general idea of what I have. Let's just go into presentation mode to take a screenshot. And yeah, that's it. I think the game's fucked if next season releases an ID that's flat out better than Blade Shoe. Yeah, I think so too. Because at that point, we're approaching the point where, like, what the hell are they even gonna do for, like, Red Mist Ryoshu? Like, how are they gonna make color fixers impressive at all? Because it'll just be more damage on top of damage and nothing will feel new anymore. Anyways, that's it for now. Feel free to take a screenshot of the tier list and everything. Bye-bye. Oh, also, yeah, thank you. Congrats on the world record. Thanks. I'm gonna be doing an ego tier list eventually, but the tiering will be slightly different just because of the nature of egos and how you can, like, use them on any ID. So, yeah, that's it. Bye-bye.